Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the match between Saracens and the Newcastle Falcons. Now, we're going to be doing something a little bit different on the channel for this matchup because of the fact we are going to be covering 9 games of rugby at once. You heard that correctly. United Rugby Championship is going to be the Lions taking on, it will be Glasgow, but also all the top 14 games. We are going to be updating the scores on the bottom of the screen for you guys alongside the 4 Gallagher Premiership matches. But the commentary that we will be providing is for this match between Saracens and Newcastle, but it could be a very entertaining one, and hopefully this will all run smoothly. As you can see here, Racing 92 taking on the Big Nan. It's actually 0-0 sitting at halftime for that top 14 game. La Rochelle getting off to a good start as well, but we just saw the result, which was Leinster were able to get a big win over their opponents in that first match of this kind of Friday night, I was going to say, but it is actually Sunday morning here in New Zealand, 3 a.m. on the dot almost for this match to be taking place, and I am very excited for it indeed. But Leinster able to win that game up against Zebre, 43 points to the 7 as well. We have got the G'day King as well from Xavier Brown. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. And we have also got the Hercules. Hey, said, hey, man, how you doing? Edinburgh versus Stormers. I was hoping to, but then I'm not too sure whether or not time zones will be in my favour in that regard. But I was also hoping to do the game between the Bulls and the Cardiff side. They have got the likes of Josh Adams and everyone returning, but they are showing the lineups for this match as well for Saracens, and we will put them up on the screen for you guys right now as well. As you can see for Saracens, they have got a few of their international players back. The likes of Owen Farrell at 10. He did play last week, but they were just missing out on the win in the end after Leicester able to score in the final moments. Also, Marco Vunipola back in that number 1 jersey for them, and it's going to be very exciting to see what that backline can do with the amount of talent that they have got there as well. Then looking through quickly at the Newcastle Falcons, they have also got a few very good players. Adam Radwan, he is certainly one to look out for because of the pace of that man. Can run through a backline. And also Mike Brown, first appearance here for the Newcastle Falcons since moving over from the Harlequins for last year's Premiership, where he did actually end up with a red card, which kind of halted all the momentum that he did have there, but he'll be able to have a good performance here for Newcastle in this one as well. Then looking through at the Saracens and Newcastle benches for this one, we've got the likes of Alex Good on the bench for Saracens alongside. There's some good players on that side of Newcastle as well, so I'm excited to see who can get the momentum in the later stages. Saracens, one thing they have slightly struggled with this season is scoring tries. They only had the one in the final moments of their first match up against, I believe they were playing, I want to say it was Bristol, but I could be wrong in that regard, so I might actually look it up. Actually, I think it was Bristol. Saracens in that first game, they got the try of Alex Lewington in the later stages of that game to win 26 points to 6. Then it was Leicester who were able to win it last week, 13 points to 12. So a very close game with a final minute try. But now they are going to be having another crack. We have got the Annie Islanders, Kiwis, Australian playing as well, says Xavier Brown. I believe, if I'm not wrong, we haven't really got too many. I think the closest to the Kiwis that we've probably got is a Vunipola. But other than that, not too many names that are too familiar for us in the Southern Hemisphere. But few good players, the likes of Mike Brown, starting for this side from Newcastle. I'm also looking through at any other players, but I'm not too sure whether or not we've got any more for this one. But there are certainly a lot of games going on at the moment all around the world that we will be updating. As you can see down the bottom of the screen, we've got top 14 action going on, 4 games at once. Also, the URC going to be starting up very soon with the Lions taking on, it will be Cardiff as well, I want to say, but it's not Cardiff. Instead, it is actually going to be, I've forgotten the name already, unfortunately, but it is the Lions playing. It's not the Cardiff side. I'm trying to think of the name. It's not Edinburgh either. It is the one other side that's name just doesn't want to come to my mind. It will be up on the screen very soon, though, for me to be able to see it. We have also got their postman, Pat, said, yo, mate, as well. And welcome into the live stream, Hamish. So what's the results been like today, says Adam? We've had a few interesting ones. I've got a couple of them coming up on the screen at the moment, but Harlequins able to get a massive win earlier on today up against the Bristol Bears, 52 points to the 24. Then also the Sharks able to get that win for the URC, the first of this round for a South African side. And now the Lions are actually going to be playing right now in a couple minutes' time. They are going to be taking on, I believe, need to remember the name. It is Glasgow. I couldn't remember it for a second there. And also, how did Bristol beat Harlequins? They dominated the Quins in the first half. I assume that it's how did Bristol not beat them? Yeah, they were 21-0 up or somewhere around there. But then, unfortunately for them, just didn't quite go well for them. Will you do the USA versus Uruguay game if it's on World Rugby as well, says Xavier Brown? It would depend on the kickoff time. I believe that is going to be at about 10 a.m. New Zealand time, so possibly by then I would have crashed because of the fact that we have got a Be A Pro live stream tomorrow night as well, but they are showing there Marco Vunipola making his way out onto the field. We have got their big lover. What I really want Newcastle to win this, but with the internationals back to the Saracens, I'm not too hopeful as well on what happened with the New Zealand teams today, says Aiden. So the Ramfurly Shield, this bad boy right here. It went to the way of Hawke's Bay, 34 points to 22 over Tasman, so a big win in that regard there. And then also there was the match between Otago and Taranaki, very close, but in the end, I believe Taranaki won that game 30 points to 23. But it wasn't as comfortable as a lot of people thought that it was going to be for that one as well. And then we have got that game, of course, going to Golden Point on Friday night between Canterbury and Wellington, but Wellington winning that one 35 points to the 30 as well. We have got there. Has any of their vaccine? Has anyone had their vaccine? Had it? I feel fine, but I am having shocking anxiety from the stress of the world we live in as well, says Postman. I have actually had both of mine, and I didn't really have any reactions to it other than a little bit of a sore arm. So hopefully you will be all right in that regard, mate. But I guess the best way to do it is to just, I guess, if you need to, put some ice on it or something along those lines. I believe they say that helps quite a bit in that regard. And also we have got there in the chat, good morning, afternoon, evening, night, how everyone, how you do, how you Hamish as well, says Katie Dixon. Welcome in to the live stream. Now, something we are going to be doing for this live stream, we're going to have all the scores of every other match that has taken place around the world at the moment, and it is certainly a lot of them. I believe we've got 9 games live at the moment. How much does the Sharks win by? Says Aiden as well. I will get that up for you right now, but I believe they had a decent win in the end. I have got the Leinster, they were able to win 43 points to 7, but the game that took place prior, the Sharks were able to beat the Ospreys 27 points to 13, and then also Ulster able to get the win, and that was 28 to 8 over Benetton. So now the Sharks, they are still sitting, I believe if I'm not wrong, they are in 12th at the moment on the table with where they are, but at this stage, this game is about to kick off between Saracens and also Newcastle Falcons. We have got their hey mate as well from Johan. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well, and hope you guys are excited for all the rugby that we have got taking place at the moment. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, I will try my best to keep on updating all the scores that we have got below, because we've got 4 Premiership games all taking place, 4 top 14 games and the URC. But now kicking it off, it is going to be Saracens going from left to right. Well, sorry, actually, it was Newcastle kicking it off. They are in the red for this one because of the fact that it is a home game for Saracens, but just inside of their 22 now. Do let me know in the chat, like we always do, who is going to score the first try of this match, and also who do you think will play a player to look out for in the other Premiership matches that we have got there happening today. That's going to be a loose bouncing ball, but it's on the side of the Saracens on the far side, and Vunipola able to take it, finds the offload as well. I believe that was Sean Robertson and his first carry of this one. Passing it back once again, it's going to be Farrell, first receiver. Nice step there from, it was the number 7, which these names I will have to get used to. I believe that was Will Welch, who did have the carry there. Now going back, Vunipola with a good carry there. Marco Vunipola back in the Saracens after being away for the British and Irish Lions. I support Saracens, by the way, says Cooper Media. So you will be hoping that they can get themselves a big win here. Farrell from just inside the 22 puts the bomb up high, going towards the halfway line, taken beautifully by Mike Brown. He has been dragged down there by Vunipola, still on the side, though, of the Newcastle Falcons. Looks like he has dropped that ball, unfortunately, there, Chick. So now it's going to be back in the hands of the Saracen side. It's going to be Lazowski. Offloads to Owen Farrell, and he is trying to drive his way down the touchline at the moment on the halfway line. Vunipola sells the dummy as if he was going to pass it, but we know that big man will keep on taking contact. Davies now trying to find the kick in behind, up in the air, and it's going to be swatted back onto the side of Saracens, but instead it's going to be available now for the Newcastle Falcons. They have this one just outside of the 22. I believe it was Ben Stevenson who got that one. G'day, Hamish, as well. No sleep for you, says Mark. Not quite. We will be sleeping probably after this game if we don't end up doing the game at 7 a.m. between the Bulls and also Cardiff. But that will be a very good match to watch as well. You remember me, says Cooper Media. I do indeed, mate. The Pringles and the Volcanoes were running wild on that night for the Fiji versus Georgia live stream. Taken beautifully there by Max Malins in the number 15 jersey. Now passing it back to Davies once again. Tries to go around the gap. Dragged down once again. It's still on the side of the Saracens. So now it's looking like a good backline opportunity. 3-on-1 here. And Mike Brown's got his hands full. Not able to find the offload though. But Saracens player has been dragged down. I believe it's an advantage. Yes, it is. Against the Falcons. So now 15 minutes out at the moment. Saracens going to get another attacking opportunity. I will read the chat in a very short moment. A little bit of a banana kick there from Farrell. And it's going to be going back for the penalty there. We have got there. Sending you some positive vibes, brother. Are we all going to get through this together? There's lots of good in the world going on, even though it isn't always easy to see as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, is there an international break when the test happen next month, like soccer? So pretty much we are going to have, I think the Premiership are a little bit later when they have their break. compared to the likes of a URC. URC, I think we've got 2 more weeks or 1 more week, and then we end up having a couple of weeks off as well in that regard. And also we have got the Pringles and Volcanoes as well as there's Cooper Media and Yale Leinster one. They did indeed 43 points to the 7. They did very nicely there. And also we have got there Sean Maitland to score 1 try, I'm afraid, as well. Says Ambassador, of course, he doesn't like for the Saracens to be able to score, but at the moment now they're going to be rolling forward with the rolling maul. They're about 5 meters out. A lot of men in this one. It's going to be very hard for the referee to work out where the ball is, and I think it's going to get stuck in there, which would mean it's going to be a Newcastle Falcons scrum, is it? Yes, it is, and they are awarded at only 5 meters out from their line as well. We have got there in the chat as well. I didn't expect Mike Brown to play for Newcastle. Yeah, I believe his career at Harlequins was going to be over, so they decided to give him a chance at the kind of Newcastle side, and it will be interesting seeing him link up with the likes of Radwan, but I am going to quickly update some of my scores. I do see that at the moment, Bordeaux are actually leading the game 27 points to the 6 up against Montpellier, doing very nicely indeed. Racing 92 have finally got some points on the board for the second half of the top 14, and also La Rochelle have been able to get themselves an extra 3 points as well. But we will keep on updating all of the scoreboards throughout the matches that are taking place today, because I know that the game on Spark Sport here in New Zealand is about to kick off between the Lions and also it is a Glasgow, so that should be a very good game to watch as well. We'll quickly get the other matches of the Gallagher Premiership. While we have a stoppage here with the scrum only a few meters out, no one has scored any tries or anything in the Gallagher Premiership so far, so that is pretty good at this stage for myself. We have got their Newcastle underdogs, perhaps perhaps cause an upset today as well, says Kevin. And tell you what, it's possible. They played very well in their first couple of games. They were unlucky up against the Harlequins, but the Harlequins are the Harlequins, and they are playing very well. That is for sure. Will you stream the top league, Japan, when it comes back? I believe I will be doing that competition as well, because those hours are a little bit more beneficial for us here in New Zealand because of the fact that they'll kind of be afternoon games, which is why I'm absolutely loving the fact that Japan are playing Australia in Japan, because it will be around a 5 p.m. kickoff or something around there. We got David as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Currently sitting 3:07 a.m. here in New Zealand, but we are all up for a little bit of rugby, and there are certainly a lot of games. You've got 9 to choose from in terms of what ones you want to watch. Spark Sport are covering the game between the Lions and Glasgow. This game between Saracens and Newcastle is on Sky New Zealand, and also I believe it is a game between Bordeaux and Montpellier, and at the moment 27 points to Bordeaux, 6 to Montpellier there, but we are having the scrum reset here once again for this matchup. 5 minutes in, and like I mentioned, Saracens, I believe they have only scored 2 tries so far. In fact, actually, 2 games they have played and they've only scored 1 try so far throughout this season, so they'll really have to make sure that they do knuckle down in this game and get themselves a few more. They decided to turn down the easy 3 points instead, kick for the corner, and now it does mean that it's on the side of Newcastle just out from their own line, and it is going to be a kick for touch there, and he hasn't managed to find it just outside of the 22, but I have got a little bit of a co-stream going on at the moment. I am watching the game between Glasgow and the Lions, and that should be a very interesting contest to see at the same time, but this one as well. 5.5 minutes into this game, and I believe at this stage Exeter Chiefs are also playing. In fact, there are 4 games going on, which is why I've got those scoreboards down the bottom. But Stuart Hogg, he doesn't get a try last week, but I know that a lot of people wanted to see him get one. It's going to be kicked downfield there, very close to the touchline, but taken beautifully by Max Malins. Gets a round of applause from the crowd behind, and it is going to be kicked back downfield. Vunapola's a mile offside, I think. And now Mike Brown going to be running it back towards the Saracens line. It's a good drive here, 50 meters out, and it is available once again here for the back line. I'm looking out for where is Radwan. He's going to be somewhere, but instead now it's going to be the big man in the number 5 jersey, steaming down the wing as if he has a big winger. It's Sean Robertson making his way forward, 22 meters out at the moment, and it looks like Newcastle are going to be putting together some phases here. Try and get themselves the first try of this match. A little kick behind there from Edwards Lewis Schroeder, but now, did he take the mark? No, he didn't, so now it is going to be going back, and Saracens now with the counter-attack here. Going to be tackled a little bit high by it was the number 8 Callum Chick, I should say, and also that live on the scissor lift, or that guy on the scissor lift is having the time of his life as well. So Scotty Dixon, and also we have got the we don't talk about Saracens scoring 1 try in 2 matches as well. There's Cooper, but at the end of the day, they may have only scored 1 try, but they have received a bonus point for that game that they did lose, and they also were able to get themselves in a good position winning up against the Bristol Bears. That looked a little bit high from Maitland, but I believe he fell into it a little bit, and it looks like a bit of push and shove out on that wing between Radwan and him as well, and the player has stayed down. And at the moment, Glasgow on a very good attack, only about a metre short of the line here. I'm just watching a little bit of a cross one while we have got another stoppage in this game. Can the Lions keep defending? Oh, I think he was very close to the line, and it's a try to Glasgow as well. I see Jack Dempsey out there, which is going to be an exciting one to see how he goes. I believe there is just the stoppage here. There's the injury of Brett Conan, I believe. It looks like he's a little bit rough, and it was Sean Maitland just flying in there. Rob Leota, the Wallabies player that made his debut, or his starting debut against Argentina in the first match, went to my high school and played for my local rugby club, says Xavier Brown. So that was pretty awesome that you have got someone who went to your club and also to your school. In that regard, I believe we haven't really got anyone from my little small town that has gone on to international rugby or anything along those lines. Even Super Rugby level, or Maitland really struck him in the head there. Unfortunately, Radwan was not too happy, which is why he decided to give him a bit of a push. But the big question here is, will Sean Maitland be in a bit of trouble? I feel like he could end up with a yellow card here, depending on how it goes. Gloucester have taken the lead in their game as well, I do see. And I will update it so that Glasgow are leading 7-0 up against the Lions as well. We will see how this one goes. Normally, we don't have 9 games of rugby going on at the exact same time, which is why this kind of co-stream in terms of all of those games. But luckily for myself, we have had quite a few stoppages here. We've just got Conan down at the moment, getting a little bit of attention, which does mean I have got time to update the rest of my scoreboards as well, because I do see now that Lion are sitting on 19 points. They have been able to get a little bit more of a lead, and also at this stage, every other game is the same. So there we go. We will update that. And we are sitting here, but we do see Maitland just charging in for that tackle on Conan and just ended up striking him too high. So I feel like this could be a little bit of danger here for that man, and they are going to TMO to see whether or not this is going to be a yellow card or anything along those lines as well. But I will mention Stuart Hogg. He's a little bit of a fan favourite at the moment on the channel, and something happened. I decided, I've got Ian Foster. You guys know about Ian Foster, of course, on a stick. He's a little bit damaged at the moment, but the big thing here was I decided, you know what, should I get myself a Stuart Hogg? The only problem is my printer was like, no, you shouldn't. And it decided that since we are coming up to Halloween at the moment, kind of gave me zombie Stuart Hogg, which doesn't quite look as good as I wanted it to, but his face is pretty damaged at the moment. He's kind of become a zombie in that regard. I thought that it was a good idea at the time to print him out, but he just hasn't quite come out the way that I wanted him to. Right, the referee is going to his pocket. Looks like it's going to be a yellow card here for Sean Maitland. It is a little bit unfortunate there for him, and we have got their Hog on a log. Says Katie Dixon there, but now going off the field here, Sean Maitland, for the next 10 minutes, so that could be a big moment for them as well. And Racing 92 actually able to score themselves their first try of this matchup. So we will go like this, and we will put that one on the board as well for Racing 92. So plenty of games going on at the moment around the world, and just too many to be able to watch them all at once. Unfortunately, I wanted to watch every single game of every single competition, but there are not enough hours in the day at the moment, that is for sure. And also we have got the Oh Hail Lord Ian Foster, or All Hail Lord Ian Foster, says David. And also we have got there, does Guinea still play? I believe he does, and he is going to be in Japan, if I'm not wrong there. Sean Maitland as well, says Sebastian. Also, hey mate, says James Gordon, welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to see him. McGigan now going to be throwing in this ball 25 metres out from the line at the moment here for them once again. Going to the back, taken nicely. And now it is going to be a backline movement, looking like it's opening up here for almost through the gap. It was their number 6 for the Newcastle Falcons, which in this one is Will Welch. Firing it back once again now. Schroeder trying to link up with Mike Brown, trying to pierce the gap. Great low tick on him, though, by the Saracens defence. Back across field once again here, and it's going to be Saracens. Ben Earl trying to hold him up in Vunipola as well. It's still available for them to be able to try and get something going 30 metres out at the moment, and it is going to be a little bit of a backline movement opening up. Stevenson there, getting himself the carry as well. We always got there. Is there a barbecue at the Saracens game? Something is on fire as well, says Katie Dixon. I haven't been paying too much attention to the background, but yeah, at this stage, I'd like to think that they'd have some type of food, but where is the fire? I'm looking around, and the background can't quite see it yet, but yeah, hopefully they have got it under control, whatever it is at this stage now. I believe the Lions just got themselves a penalty, which would put them back up to being 7 points to 3 down at the moment, but it was a good run in the end, and just a little bit high. And a little bit of a neck roll from Graham there on Jamie George, I believe, is what they were contesting or protesting for in that situation. But we will go here and we will go here. And once again, we will be updating our scoreboard so that the Lions are sitting on 3 points. I will try my best to keep all of those updated as we go, but we have got there. There is billowing smoke as well, says Katie Dixon there. And the jab it, unless Jamie George now just outside of the 22. Can the Saracens start a little bit of a fire on the attack? It's gone straight over the top, taken beautifully by Marco Vunipola, but it was a little knock on first. So because of it, it does mean that they weren't quite able to break their way through in that situation. But the Saracens at the moment, I would say their set piece is somewhere that's been letting them down a little bit more than it normally would. Of course, once they have Maro Itoje back, could be a little bit of a different story because of the fact that he is a very good man to have in the line out, definitely without rolling more as well. Howdy, man, as well. Says it was the David, and also most likely the series fans are burning the 2021-22 jersey that they bought as well, says Sebastian. And I mean, it's just a big situation at the moment for them. They need to find their way over the try line a few times here, Saracens. And also Gloucester actually taking an 8-0 lead over Saracens, or sorry, over Sale Sharks, I should say as well. For that one, we will go like this, and we will look for Gloucester. There are plenty of games, like I have mentioned, this one being one of the lowest scoring ones at the moment, 10 minutes in, and it is still 0-0. Kicked in behind from Mike Brown, looking for the touchline, taken nicely by Max Malin, so very dangerous player. And back play, yeah, I see the smoke now. I look at it, now it's a big hit on Max Malins by Stevenson. Still available now once again here for the Saracens, looking for the offload, decides against it, now gives it to him. And now Vunipola on the outside, trying to break the line, but he is going to be dragged down by, I believe it was Stevenson once again. He's made quite a few carries throughout this match and also quite a few tackles in the early stages. And also we have got the heights of Jamie George jersey behind the back as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got the Tolu Latu and Rory Arnold any good. They got selected for the Wallabies. I don't know much about them. Are they any good as well? Rory Arnold, he's been playing a bit for Toulouse, I believe, at the moment in the top 14. Very good at the kind of locking department as well. So I'd say he'd be a good one to look out for. And Latu, I haven't really seen too much of recently. But I assume if he has been brought back into their side, maybe he will be able to do decently in that regard. I'm a good friend. Hope you're well as well, says David. David kicked him behind. Now once again by Schroeder. It's going to be available for Vunipola. Once again, tackled low though by Radwan, and they are still playing with only 14 men out on the field for Saracens. So if they can score themselves the opening points of this match, I'm sure they would be very happy. But Vunipola now steaming his way for that is Marco Vunipola there. Still in the half, and it is going to be Davies now passes back on Farrell. A little bit of a weird banana kick, but almost worked out, but it's going to be taken nicely by the man in the number 12 jersey there, which is a Lucock, and it's a penalty to Saracens, right? Do they take the 3 points here? That's a big question. The line out, they have been struggling with it. So do you go for the 3? All March and 10 as well. Now you probably definitely go for the 3 here. But we have got the, the rules, there's no supporting Lucas as well, says Sebastian there. At this stage, March 10 meters, unfortunately, making an easy kick even easier if they do decide to take on the 3 points. But instead, the big question is, are they going to do it? I believe it was actually, I want to say it was George McGigan, but that was not George McGigan. It was actually Will Welch. No, it's Graham. Who's Graham? Gary Graham. That is the name. And also we have got there. Just woke up a few minutes ago. It's 8 a.m. About to make some breakfast. And I'm surrounded by rugby, so life is good as well, says Katie Dixon. It is indeed. And Owen Farrell now, he is going to be taking on the 3 points in this match. Currently 12 minutes in at this stage. And Saracen's going to be taking the lead, perhaps, if he can get this one over as well. But there are some high-scoring games going on in the top 14 at the moment. Definitely for La Rochelle and also Bordeaux doing very nicely. I'm wondering whether or not Ben Lamb has been able to get himself a try. Of course, a Kiwi from the Hurricanes. We have seen him a little bit. Pat Lamb, the head coach of the Bristol Bears, they're having a little bit of trouble at the moment. But I am seeing Ben Tamafuna, and I believe we actually mentioned him earlier on a live stream. What's the line score as well? Says Aiden, at this stage, it is sitting 7 points to Glasgow and 3 to the Lions. But they aren't completely out of the match. An early try between the sticks for the Lions, for Glasgow, but then they were able to get the 3 points back as well. Don't hit scissor lady or lift guy Owen as well, says Katie Dixon. But that one has gone over, and now the score is going to be 3-0 for Saracens in the early stages of this game. 13 minutes in, and yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not we will get ourselves a try in this first half, because Saracens, like I mentioned, they scored that try in the 74th minute or so. Was Alex Lewington, that only try that they have been able to score this year, Saracens. But we've seen the likes of Radwan. Anytime he gets that ball, he is a dangerous player. He's almost running with a limp at the moment, though. Oh, the ball's been put down cold, unfortunately. For it was, I believe it was Ben Earl. Yeah, I forgot the name for a second there, but now it's going to be a perfect attacking opportunity. Will you be up for the Bulls game? Will you be live as well? Says Aiden. I really hope that I will be, but I believe that game is going to be kicking off at 7:45 or so a.m. And I believe out of the two games between Edinburgh or the Stormers, I think that is the game that I will want to cover if I do get the opportunity. But pretty much it will come down to whether or not I do get too tired after doing this one because of the fact that we have got the match, or we have actually got a Be a Pro live stream tomorrow night alongside another live stream that we are going to be doing a little bit after on the gaming channel. And then we have got the Premiership Rugby live stream that will be taking place a little bit later on in the night as well. But these URC games, I'm hoping that they will start to kind of fit in with the schedule a little bit more. And it may be the case of instead of getting up in the afternoon, I start getting up in the morning as well. But I am hoping to still be awake for that game, even if it does mean I have to take a little nap in between that one and the next one as well. We have got there Farrell, just doesn't miss. Back in 2019, I believe he missed a conversion and a penalty goal in the same game, and it was the headline of the sports news as well. There's Sebastian, yeah, very consistent with the kicking, as for sure. And also we have got their Wednesday next sevens tournament. It originally was going to be actually around this weekend or somewhere around there, but next it is 3rd of December. I believe it is in Dubai as well that one's going to be taking place, actually day after my birthday. So we'll be watching plenty of rugby around there, but now it's going to be a backline moving here for the Falcons, going wide out into the hands of the number 11, who's getting very close, Nathan Earl. He has dragged down 5 metres out. Can they make the most of the man advantage here? It's going to be Stevenson, Ben Stevenson, that is. Once again, in the ball up, looking to the short side. Schroeder now instead passes it back across field to the big loose forwards, losing the footing there for Saracens, but he wasn't contesting. McGugan running high at the line, but he is going to be dragged down as well. Schroeder now passing it back once again. Going to the number 7 here for the Newcastle Falcons, trying to hit the ball. And Mike Brown gets it, runs into the post, but scores the try for the Falcons, and they have taken the lead now in this match as well. Kiwi lads' birthday seasons are approaching as well. Says Katie Dixon. It is indeed. Myself and Daniel both have the birthdays in December. George and Isaac both have it in March, but they have both had theirs. And I guess in a way, that is only around 6 months away as well, or less than that. We're actually in the 10th month of the year. I can't believe how quickly this year has gone. But Mike Brown, what a try that is for that man, and we are going to be updating that now so that it does say Mike Brown as the try scorer. Welcome to the Falcons, mate. He has gone from the Harlequins to the Newcastle Falcons, gets that ball, decides to try and fend off the post as well, as it was in the way, and he was able to score it there. And we add that one to the try scorers list once again. There we go. And that will be going up for just a little while we are updating all the other ones as well. And Mike Brown as well, try in the chat as well. And we have got there the laughing emojis from Sebastian there. But Mike Brown doing very nicely, able to score that try there for himself. And I will quickly, while we have got the stoppage, I will be going through and updating every single other scoreboard, but that one has gone over. So it is now going to be 7 points to the Newcastle Falcons and 3 to Saracens once again. So they need to make sure that they don't let them end up running away with this game. Saracens, they are a side that can just fight hard when they need the opportunity, but Sean Maitland, I should say, is going to be hoping to make his way back out onto the field very soon. That is actually the only other try that we have had in the match so far for any competition or any match of the Premiership other than that Gloucester one from earlier on as well. But I am just looking through and updating all of the other ones. Montpellier able to score themselves a try there. So now they are going to be sitting on 11 as well. But we will be showing all of those updates as we go as well. We have got there no one is screaming or fleeing in terror, so the smoke must be normal as well. And try scorers, Mike Brown, Newcastle as well. Says Sebastian, it was indeed. And I've realised now that because I've got the live scores going across the bottom, they don't actually pop up, do they? So I will go. Do you want Sebastian? We can put that up there for yourself. But now Owen Farrell trying to find the offload, little knock on there from Saracens, and now just inside of the half. It is going to be actually going back for the original knock on for the Saracens. And now Sean Maitland making his way back out there. He will certainly want to make sure he doesn't make any more mistakes in the later stages of this one as well, because of the fact that it could cost his side a few points in that regard. And Lyon actually sitting on 26 points at the moment here. We will update that one as well. And then Montpellier sitting on the 13, so they were able to convert in that one as well. And Racing 92, they are sitting on 10 points at the moment in their game up against Castres, Perpignan is actually who they are playing. There we go. We will update all of those. And they are all looking very nice indeed. Could just be the Flair. Could just be a Flair. We use them a lot sporting events in Europe as well. Says Sebastian there. But now at this stage, looks like Glasgow are going to be taking on a 3-pointer in that game between the Lions and Glasgow. That is taking place for the Rugby Championship, or the United Rugby Championship, I should say. Let's go World Rugby. A stream of the USA versus Uruguay match. They have it scheduled. Will you watch it as well? Says Xavier Brown. What time does that one kick off? Is it 10 a.m. New Zealand time, or is it 8 a.m.? Do let me know. Massive knock on there from Saracens, and now it's going to be the backline movement opening up. Radwan dragged down there, and you got to tackle that man early. Schroeder, though, going for the 50-22. Huge amount of space there in behind. It's going to be rolling just a couple meters out from the Saracens line. Huge amount of pressure, but now with the counter-attack here. Cutting it back on the inside. Sean Maitland dragged down there. They still just got this ball there for Saracens. Oh, just getting very close. I don't know. It looks like it's coming from the snack bar as well. Says Katie Dixon there, but now Vunipola with the counter-attack. Now it's going back now. It's going to be the scrum for the Saracens there. Okay, so it's hit the ref, and that is why they have ended up stopping that one there. But Glasgow now sitting 10 points for the 3 of the Lions as well. There we go. We'll keep those ones getting updated at the moment. No other game in the Premiership other than Gloucester has actually had a try yet in these ones. So it is interesting to see who is going to be able to get those big wins, because I have actually got the table here for you guys as well to know exactly who is sitting here. That's actually a URC table. This one here, we will quickly take this one down for just a moment. There we go. We have got Harlequin sitting into the top at the moment. Haven't lost a game yet. Leicester also haven't lost a game. They are actually playing up against the London Irish at the moment. And then Northampton also undefeated. They're going into their game up against the Wasps in a very short moment, which is going to be taking place at 3 a.m. tomorrow night. At the moment, Bath, Bristol, and also the London Irish, Exeter Chiefs, Saracens, they're all sitting on just 5 or under points, so they need to make sure that they get themselves wins very soon as well. And Ian Tempest is the referee for Saracens as well, says Gregor Gallagher. And also we have got the SARACENS Live at 4 hours, so 5:30 Australian time. So I assume that is around that 7:30 mark, which is actually the same time as the last URC game or somewhere around there. I'm a fan of both, sadly. I'm a Bath fan, sorry, says Xavier there. And yeah, at the moment they are struggling a little bit, but they had a very close game. I believe it was actually a close game with Bristol in the end. Was that the one win that Bristol were able to get, if I'm not wrong there? But Bath, I mean, at the end of the day, they only need to get themselves up one ranking, and they have an opportunity of getting that Challenge Cup in 2023, or at least somewhere around there as well. But they are a good side, Bath. They've got some very good players as well. So hopefully they can fight their way back up a little bit more. But Smithy Toilet is in the chat as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. At the moment, we have got games for days happening, a total of 9 live matches. And I am giving you guys updated with the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen as well, for anyone who is curious. But now it's going to be the push here for Saracens, just a little bit out from their own line. It's going to be Vunipola, who is trying to drive its way forward. Oh, it's been stripped there. And now it's available once again for the Falcons. They have got the men on the outside. Instead, it's going to be now Stevenson looking at the corner he's got there. And it's another try. And it was Ben Stevenson who was able to score it there for the Bristol, or almost to see the Bristol, but it is the try for Newcastle in this match as well. And they are looking very strong. Ben Stevenson in the number 13 jersey scores the second try of the match now for the Newcastle Falcons. We have got their try again, Falcons as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, we have got their Bath will come back, mate. Don't worry, they're tough as well, says Sebastian. And also, we have got their I'm all goods cousins might go to sleep, as well. Yeah, it is currently sitting 3:30 here in New Zealand. And something I've just realised as well, the thing with this match, which makes it quite interesting, is the fact that I believe going into this one, Saracens were actually $1.04 compared to the $8 of Newcastle Falcons in terms of those odds of winning this game. So this is well and truly becoming an upset if they can keep this pace up here for the Falcons. But they have just been looking like the stronger side, making the most of their opportunities. And then from there, Stevenson pinning the ears back. And getting that one, isn't this just lovely as well, says Sebastian. And also try from Sebastian there. And again, try for the Falcons, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, Sebastian. I know how it feels to support bad team. I'm a Melbourne Rebels fan as well, says Xavier Brown. Although, sure you would be very impressed with the way that Andrew Callaway has been playing in the recent times for the Wallabies, doing very nicely indeed. Now, at this stage of this game, it is looking like it is going to be an 11-point advantage to the Newcastle Falcons. 2 tries already in their bank, and they'll be able to get 2 more to build towards that bonus point as well. But from the touchline, it's going to be a tough kick here. But Conan struck it straight down the middle, and now the score is going to be 14 to Newcastle Falcons to the 3 as well. We have got there and the new try scorers, try scorers, Mike Brown and Ben Stevenson at the moment, and Falcons out there, Falcon punching as well. Says Katie Dixon, and the thumbs up for Mike Jones in the chat as well. But the crowd are letting out a big cheer at the moment. They want to get Saracens back into this game, but at the moment, they are just getting outplayed by this Newcastle Falcons outfit. Well, looking like they are relatively solid. Inside of the 22 is the call, so they will be able to kick this ball back, or kick it into touch on the full, I should say, as well. But now at this stage, they have been told to use it once again here for the Newcastle Falcons. I feel like more than likely they will decide to kick this one towards the touchline. And that is exactly what they have done, sides against the quick throw. And now it is going to be still on the side of Saracens to try and get this counter-attack going. They haven't been able to get it going so far in this matchup, but I'm sure that they will be hoping to get themselves a try early on in the, either early in the second half, or they've got to get one before the 70th minute, because or else then they leave it just a little bit too late. But now it's going to be Vunipola once again driving his way forward, tackled low though. And a great tackle once again. It's going to be passed back, and now it's opening up. They've got 2 men on the outside. It's going to be Maitland next to, I believe it was the man in number 14 jersey for them, which in this one is Alex Lewington, but just wasn't quite able to link up with the man. But 30 metres out straight out in front now will be Davies passing it back. Farrell gives it off to Vunipola once again, making a few metres for a side. Farrell now with a step on the inside, and now it's going to be Max Malin's trying to link up. Oh, what a pass that is, and Swinson has scored the try, or has he? Oh, did he put it down? Did he put it down? That's a question, and it's all Maitland's fault as well. So Sebastian, right, this could be almost a try here for Saracens, depending on how this goes, and it was their big number 5 who was able to run up there, which in this one is Tim Swinson. They are checking the grounding to see whether or not Saracens have been able to get themselves back into this one. Hopefully, will Rugby continue to show lower nations games? It would be a very smart marketing play because of the fact that definitely for Rugby World Cup qualifiers, everyone wants to know who's going to be making it through to those matches. So I feel like it's the perfect opportunity to be able to do so. OMG as well there from KD Jackson, but then Max Malin's got the inside ball, and I don't know how he's passed that ball, but he somehow has. The question is, oh, it's just a little flick out the back. He sold the dummy and then flicked it that way as well. And then from there, did he get the ball down? That's a massive question here. Could be a brilliant try for Tim Swinson if he has been able to ground this ball, but I think Robinson, his opposite number, may have done just enough here. Oh, did he get this one down here? What a bit of defense there. He's actually somehow keep that ball off the ground there, Robertson. That is absolutely phenomenal work from the Newcastle Falcons defense. That cheeky pass, says Gary Dixon, and also 5-3 for the Tigers at the moment, says Gregor Galway. So we'll update that one as well. So at the moment, Leicester, okay, mine is a little bit behind it. It does only have it as 5-0 with the first try coming for Dolly. And that one as well, well to the ball back, as says Katie Dixon, which of course wouldn't have been too comfortable. It's going to be a goal line dropout. But what a bit of defense there. Sean Robertson never gave up. And because of it, it does mean that the Newcastle Falcons have had their momentum stopped. I just said that with a little bit of a weird accent there, but it is going to be a goal line dropout due to the rule of being held up at 23 minutes into this game at the moment. And it is once again going to be the Newcastle Falcons who will be kicking this one back towards the halfway line. This needs to be a massive strike from Conan, and if he kicks it anything like he did for his first kick at post, he will be doing decently. Max Malin's now offloads it back, and Saracens once again going to be on the attack. Earl going to be dragged down by about 3 different men there. But it was a bit of great defense there. What's going? Bears doing boo, and Saris losing as well. Says Postman Pad. Yeah, at the moment, the Bristol Bears, they have been struggling, although they've got the advantage at the moment now. Saracens and Vunapola now passing it back to Farrell with a bit of a juggle. Wide cut out pass. It's a knock on, and it's going back for the penalty. But it's a good question. Some of these sides, I mean, looking at this game on paper or in terms of the TAB odds and everything like that, I believe Newcastle were an $8 underdog, which seemed absolutely huge with the factor of Saracens only being able to score that one try in their last 2 matches. But yeah, it's going to yeah, that was a stellar. I'm going to go cry now as well, says Katie Dixon there. But at this stage, Max Malin's was just sitting there, and they are showing that offload. Still looking at it many times. I don't know how he did it, but did extremely well in that regard. And we will also update some of the other scoreboards for around the world. I believe a lot of those French games are going to be coming to an end very soon, which probably will help us out because we will only have to update about 7 games at a time rather than sitting at the 9. Or actually, we'll cut right down to about 5, but we will put Leicester's try on the board as well for them. It was scored by Dolly, but now it's a rolling more here for Saracens. Ball popping out the side, and it's another knock on from Saracens. And now it does mean that it's going to be a scrum feed. A little bit of push and shove there from Owen Farrell with one of the bigger men. He is getting a bit of a push in the face at the moment. Not too happy about it. Okay, Owen Farrell, he is having a bit of a chat with the ref. We have got there. That was definitely something he practiced in his yard as a kid and perfected as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, do you know how to watch top 14 in Australia? It's a good question. I believe Stan Sports have got the Gallagher Premiership, some of those games, but if they don't have the top 14, unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not too sure whether or not maybe does a KO or someone like that have it. Xavier, if you do have KO, do let me know. But I'm just trying to think of everything else that they have got, and I assume it's not on Fox as well. So I guess the best bet is probably there are highlights on YouTube, or there's actually a channel that have uploaded full match replays kind of about a week after the matches do take place. It is a little bit delayed, but it is still, I guess, better than nothing in terms of those top 14 games, because at the moment, there are 4 games going on for the top 14, but only one of them is being shown here in New Zealand. But it was taken very nicely by the man in the number 5 jersey, almost able to score himself a try a little bit earlier on in Tim Swinson. But then from there, yeah, Owen Farrell wasn't too happy with a push that did take place on one of his Saracens teammates. So then he was jumping straight in there as well. Tell you what, Lion at the moment are getting a good lead in their game. They are sitting on 40 points at the moment over Biarritz. And what is a very impressive performance. Montpellier making a little bit of a comeback now, sitting 20 points to the 13. And also at this stage, Racing 92 have been able to update that. That's going to be the penalty at scrum time for the Newcastle Falcons once again there. And La Rochelle still sitting 22 to the 3 as well. So we will update all of those ones while we are at it. So there's a lot of high-scoring games going on at the moment, but the top 14, they've had a lot of high-scoring games. The Gallagher Premiership, we've had a few that aren't going too badly in terms of the points per minute type arrangement, but Racing 92 are still leading that game. Curtly Bell wasn't playing in that game, though, so there's still those rumours that maybe he's playing for the Wallabies, but I believe that is, at this stage, just a rumour because of the fact that he wasn't in that one. Good morning all as well. Morning, Katie Dixon. Says Gary Miller as well. Welcome in, mate. We have got about 9 games of rugby going on at the moment around the world. The Gallagher Premiership is well and truly in the swing of things with 4 games. Also, top 14 with 4 games. And then the match taking place between Lions and Glasgow is another one that is going on at the moment for in the rugby world. But we have got plenty on, that's for sure. And then tomorrow on the channel, we are also going to be covering a few other games. We are going to be doing the Gallagher Premiership game at 3 a.m. between the Wasps and also Northampton, alongside a Be a Pro live stream and also a Far Cry 6 live stream on the gaming channel. But now Stevenson once again with a good drive forward just inside of the half of Saracens now. And once again, they are going to be trying to get this one going. Schroeder now rush defense there from Owen Farrell, able to make the low tackle and put them under pressure. Schroeder once again having to pass that ball back. Mike Brown takes it, already scoring a try earlier on. Great low tackle on him. Oh, fell awkwardly. Vunipola crushed his skull on the ground there. Is he getting up? That's a big question. It looks like he may still be down at the moment. Now it's going to be a high ball. Max Malin's not able to take it cleanly, and now it's a knock-on advantage for the Falcons. I'm looking around for a Mike Brown to see whether or not he has got up. Kick him behind now. It's going to be an awkward one to take, but it is taken nicely by Sean Maitland, and that is going to be a mark taken. Almost kicks it into the back of the head of one of the other players. Mike Brown is up because of the fact he is almost in the support run for that one. Now passing it back across into the hands of Ben Stevenson. Now going for the 50-22 out on the full, though, so it is going to be going back, and I'm back. I was playing rugby league on my phone, and I'm playing with for Brisbane. First game, I won 22-6. Second game, I won 36-0 as well, so you are getting the hang of it. That is for sure. And hey, brother, how you do as well? It's Rugby Fest, and I'm a clown in the dunk. I'm a clown in the dunk tag as well, says it, Katie Dixon there. Oh, yeah, at this stage, there are certainly a lot of games going on. The Lions actually sitting only 4 points behind him. Burger Ordendale having a great run there, trying to change that. But now, once again, the Falcons going to be hitting this ball up. And Vunipola getting rolled over there. Going back into the pocket. And it is going to be kicked downfield once again by the Falcons. Going for the big boot downfield. Max Malin's taking it nicely now, just outside of the 22 now. Looking like he's kicking it back downfield with the big strike of the ball. Well weighted just outside of the 22. And now it will be, once again, Conan kicking this one back. It's a game of force back at the moment between these two sides. 22-22 is what's happening at the moment. Big kick from Max Malin's. Not finding touch though. And now it's going to be Radwan. Got the ball in hand. We know he loves a bit of a step, but he is going to be wrestled down to the ground just inside of the territory of the Newcastle Falcons once again. Schroeder passing it back across field. Mike Brown with a short ball. And it is going to be a good run in the end by their number 8, which in this one, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I want to say it's Callum Chick, but I could have that number wrong. Happy birthday as well. Says Katie Jackson, I'm just celebrating my birthday yesterday, 57, getting old as well, says Gary Miller. So hopefully you did have a great day, mate, and you were able to do something nice for your birthday in that regard. But yeah, I hope you did have a good day. Or you have else got there. You know the rules there, so no clowns, Harlequins are getting humiliated as well. Says Basham now passing the ball back. Once again, it's going to be Saracens, and at this stage, they need a try before we get to halftime. 30 minutes in at the moment. In fact, my clock is almost identical to what we are sitting at for the match between the Lions and also the Glasgow side as well. Kiwi lads, well, all teams that were beaten in the dominant or beat to dominant Premiership this year, Bears, Saracens, Chiefs, and Sale are doing rubbish, crazy start to the season as well. And the big thing is those teams, like, yes, they were missing their international players a little bit earlier on, but a lot of them have gone back to almost full strength now, but they just haven't quite been able to find that momentum that they're after. And it's going to be a tough one for them to be able to try and find that momentum. But the Gallagher Premiership, it is such a long season that you got plenty of time to adjust. And all you need to be, once again, I will show the table for you guys. All you got to do is get into that position of being in around that top 8, top 4 kind of thing. Then you are qualified for the Champions Cup. And also, if you get in that top 4, you are in those playoff games or into the final. And then anyone can win it from there. So the Sale Sharks, they're not doing terribly at the moment. They are sitting 1-1-1, of course, with that tie up against the London Irish a little bit earlier on in the season. I believe that was actually 2 weeks ago, 32-32 or somewhere around there. Was a very good game to watch on the channel. That is for all we have. Let's go there. Thanks. Was watching some cricket before I got here. Some IPL on Willow TV as well, says Gary Miller, because I believe the IPL, they must be getting very close to the end of that competition, if I'm not wrong there, because of the fact that we are getting very close to the T20 World Cup, and it looks like the Newcastle Falcons once again going to be kicking this one for the goalposts. And it will be once again Conan who will be trying to convert. We have got there. Do you remember the game when the All Blacks smashed South Africa 55-0 as well? I believe there was actually a game that did take place that struck well down the middle there. And now the score is going to be 17-3. But the big thing is, I don't actually think at that stage I was following rugby to the extent that I am now. Like, I had a few seasons where I wasn't watching any rugby. Then all of a sudden, I just jumped straight back into it. Rugby Challenge 4 got me hooked on it again. And then since then, we've done over around 130 or so live games of rugby as well. Mike Brown charging his way forward, but he is dragged down by Lazowski. Just inside of the 22 once again here for the Newcastle Falcons. We have got there. I would love to watch cricket match one day as well. It looks very interesting. We are going to be covering the T20 World Cup on the channel as well in the middle of the night for those games in Abu Dhabi, I believe, is where some of those games are going to be taking place, if I'm not wrong there. But they are in the UAE, actually, so it might be Dubai that I have said rather wrong way. And also we have got there, Saracens quit farting around as well, says Katie Dixon. And also thanks, Sebastian, it was good, says Gary Miller there. But now just inside of their own 22 here, the Newcastle Falcons once again going to be trying to find their way outside of that 22. We have currently got 8 minutes left, and then I will update all of the scoreboards, because I believe more than likely most of the French top 14 games would have finished by then. But the one that I will try and keep you guys updated with is going to be that game between the Lions and also the match taking place, which is going to be taking place between the other side that I can't quite think of off the top of my head. Once again, it is the Lions and it is Glasgow. I keep on forgetting that name as well. We have got their head of by Cricket for Dummies to get a handle on it as well. Great sport, says Gary Miller. I really do enjoy it. We were covering the KFC Big Bash last year, kind of around December, and I believe we will be doing that once again here. And what place will Bears comes this year, says Postman. That is a good question. But now driving forward, but it's going to be Max Malin's a little bit of obstruction there, and it does mean that it is going to be the penalty once again against them there. And it is costing them big time at the moment in terms of those mistakes that they have been making. They've got to make sure that they keep that discipline in check, or else it could get them into quite a bit of trouble going forward as well. But then at this stage, we have got the happy birthday, Gary. And also we have got the one thing that annoys me a lot is how players don't play for their born in. For example, Marika should play for VG NRL Australia, and let's more do you think they should play for the country they're born as well, says Xavier Brown. It is a tough one, because of the fact that a lot of those guys, like if they are born in a country, like sometimes they are raised in a different country pretty much their whole life kind of thing. So it does make it very tough in terms of the decision making for them. And it's money, man as well, says Katie Jackson. It is indeed. It is one of those ones you chase the financial gain because of the fact that you want to make sure that you can supply. No, not supply. Still looking for that word so that you can. I've completely forgotten the word, but pretty much so that you can support. That's the word. I'm not sure why I struggle so much, but so you can support your family and everything along those lines. It's going to be a knock on, and now it's going to be Saracens who will now have the opportunity with the scrum feed. Once again, we have got there as well. In the chat, boxing was in Las Vegas today, and my nana was like, how do you make them stop the fight? Because the guy was getting knocked out, and he had a busted ear and spitting out blood as well, says James Gordon. And speaking of boxing, I believe it is going to be the fight taking place, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I believe that that match, the fight, I should call it, is going to be taking place in about it might be 9 hours time or so that one is going to be taking place. So that will be interesting to see who is able to win that one. But at the moment, Glasgow versus Lions is a very close game. It is still sitting 10 points to Glasgow and 6 to the Lions there. But now going back downfield for them in that game. But this one at the moment, we've got another injury stoppage. So at the moment, seems to be quite a few of them coming through. I'm wondering what time we are up to in a lot of these games that did take place. They kicked off at 2 a.m., the French top 14 games. And actually, something that I can do, that's the thing, I've bought about 3 different subscriptions. Sky Sport, also I have got Spark Sport so that I can watch those games of the URC. If Saracens are just waiting for the second half, come on guys, as well, says Gary. It's interesting, they don't seem to be able to find that rhythm. Like I mentioned, 2 matches, they won one of them, but they have only scored 1 try so far. The game between Bordeaux and Montpellier is actually sitting at, it is 79.5 minutes, and they're actually going upstairs for a TMO. If this is Montpellier scoring the try here, which it could be, whether or not there was enough contact on that player to warrant them going back. This could actually end up with a draw depending on how that one goes. And yeah, London Irish are winning their game as well. So it's Katie Dixon. So that would be up against Leicester, which would be a very big upset if they were able to do so there. Right, I will quickly mute that one. I had about 3 commentators in my ear at once, all over the place. But now at this stage, it's another penalty, and it is going the way of Saracens, and it is that man in the number 4 jersey, I believe it was Marco Fusa, who was able to get that one, and also Gary at least. They're not doing as bad as the Bears as well, says Postman Pat, and also we have got there in the chat as well. A little bit earlier on, I believe I missed a message as well. I honestly think they'll be able to recover and reach the top 4, and then it's Gods will in the playoffs as well. Anything can happen there as well from Sebastian now at this stage, 25 metres out. It's an advantage here for Saracens once again. They need a try in this first half, that is for sure. That Bears Quinn game was lunacy. Lunacy, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And also we have got there, do you think Club 7s would work as well? It would be very interesting to see how many players, because a lot of these guys have actually kind of transferred over from the 7s, depending on where they have come from. The likes of Semi Radradra, Caleb Clark are 2 players that I can think of off the top of my head, kind of bouncing back and forth. Also, Summer Karevi, another one. I have to admit, I'm an Exeter guy. I like their style as well. And tell you what, I will mention something, Gary. Earlier on, as you guys probably know, I have got that Ian Foster on a stick. And I tried to print out a Stuart Hogg because I felt like it would be a nice touch because he is one of the fan favourites. But I accidentally zombified him. A printer was like, yeah, no, you don't have much ink. So you can have kind of a weird zombie-like Stuart Hogg, but Halloween's coming up, so I guess it is good timing. But maybe I'll have to reprint that once I do get myself some more ink at some stage for me printer. Or I might need a new printer because it has done that a couple times, and maybe it's not the ink that is the problem. But now 5 metre Saracens line out once again, and the rolling mill defence from the Falcons doesn't look like it is going to be going anywhere. They have been told to use it once. Jamie George trying to get this one rolling forward, and now it's breaking off here. It's looking good for the Saracens. Getting very close, dragging it down, and it's going to be just short. It's a penalty try, and this could be, is it going to be a yellow card, or is it just going to be the penalty try? But it is the try, nonetheless, to Saracens, and now it was almost Jamie George. He was going to be able to get over the line as well. Number 2, it is going to be McGigan going off the field as well. Where's Caleb Clark? He did actually travel to the 7s for the Olympics, and in the end, he didn't actually get any game time, sadly, for him, but he was in the situation of, I believe he is still now kind of almost with Auckland for the Bunnings NPC, but I haven't really seen him get a chance yet because of Auckland being in that lockdown, but he will be playing for the Blues next season, I have a feeling. But he isn't in the All Blacks camp, I don't believe, at this stage. And also Vaporwave Stuart Hogg. What an aesthetic as well. Says Katie Dixon, oh yeah, my school won a basketball contest, but I wasn't at the last game because sick. My team came first. My sister's team came third, and my brother's team came second as well. So a medal all across the board for your family by the sounds of it. And try, says Katie Dixon. But McGigan couldn't afford to get sent off the field there, unfortunately, for himself. And now he has put his team under a little bit more pressure because of the fact that now they will be the team who are playing with only the 14 men out on the field now, kicking it downfield. And once again, it's going to be available here, taken nicely inside of the 22 for Earl. But they are sitting on the 10 points now. So Saracens, they have got the man advantage for the next 10 minutes as well. He needs to make the most of it. Vunipola now trying to throw himself at the line. We have got there the try scorers for Sebastian. I will update that as well there. But at this stage, I believe, if I'm not wrong, most of those top 14 games will be very close to being over. But Mike Brown returning 5 for the Saracens, kicking it back down the middle of the field, taken nicely on the 22 by Davis once again. Now it's going to be Max Malin's back in his pace, but Ben Stevenson's got a bit of toe as well, and it was a brilliant tackle, almost able to throw him into touch. But instead now still going to be just on the side of the Saracens as well. 10-7 on my screen as well, says Katie Dixon. And hopefully they will update flash score. No, they haven't yet. But it is still sitting 10 points to the Saracens, 17 to the Newcastle Falcons. But for some reason, flash score have decided that they aren't going to be updating it. But hopefully they do update it soon. But Saracens now once again going to be kicking this one downfield. And it is going to be available here for them just inside of the 22. I'm sorry, just outside of the 40 or it's just inside of the 40-meter line. Tell you what, my field territory was all over the place there for myself. But at this stage now, 8.5 minutes left of this yellow card as well. And they have still decided not to update it. Love Hawkeye is a baller as well, says Gary Miller. The big question is he going to score in this game for them at the moment? I will have a quick look at the scoreboard at this stage. The Exeter Chiefs, they are sitting on 14 points, right? Who has scored the tries? It was actually Ewers who was able to score the first try, and then Sam Simmons scored the second one as well. And I believe it's one of those ones as well. Sam Simmons, he was going to score a try. I believe he was a crazy underdog in terms, or it's crazy favourite, I should say, in terms of being able to score himself a try in this one. We always got there. You should get Michael Hooper on the podcast. He always responds, leaves me on scene on he always responds / leaves me on scene on Instagram as well. Says Xavier Brown. So perhaps in the off season we could look at doing that as well. He is easy to get an answer back from. Says Xavier Brown as well. We have also got there Katie Google was too as well. Says Postman Pat, and also we have got their flash score sleeping again. They are indeed, because at this stage they still haven't given the try to Saracens, but hopefully they do update it soon. It's going to be a knock on against Saracens though. And now Ben Stevenson's got this ball, kicking it back downfield, kind of. It's only gone about 2 meters forward and now 20 meters out here. Saracens are going to have the line-out rugby players, also Humble with down to earth as well. Says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there in the chat, never mind the flash score admins, the joint wasn't properly rolled as well. Says Sebastian. There we go. They have updated it. It's probably because Saracens could score a try here as well. But we will have to wait and see. But at the moment, the crowd are getting behind them. They want to see another try from Saracens. If they can go into the second half sitting at that situation of being 17-17, they'll be doing very nicely indeed. And by the looks of it, most of these games are getting to halftime and full-time. So during the halftime break, we will be updating every single scoreboard so you guys know exactly who is going to be sitting where. But now Jamie George got this ball at the back here for Saracens, trying to march their way forward now, just rolling forward. It's looking pretty good for Saracens. But Lee Vunipola joining up has gone just in front, and now Saracens still creeping forward here. It's still the same old Jamie George, not able to find the offload instead. Going to be wrestled down, but now 40 minutes into this game now, it's going to be the cellular dummy, I believe in the midfielder was Lizovsky getting the carry. Now Farrell, quick hands there from Max Malins. Out into the hands now with Sean Maitland, inside ball close to the touchline. And it is very close, and it's going into touch there. But it is going to be going into halftime, and the score will be 10 points for the Saracens and 17 for the Newcastle Falcons as well. Kiwi Lads, thoughts on Facebook going down as well, says Postman Pat. Someone actually mentioned it a little bit earlier on, but I don't really go on Facebook more than probably like once. I was going to say once a year, but probably like once a month or somewhere around there. So I didn't really know how long was it down for. Postman Pat, do let me know. And also we have got their good riddance. That site is trash garbage. Just says Katie Jackson. And also Exeter has so many guys that can get into get it done. Sorry, total team great in Europe too as well. And yeah, it's going to be exciting seeing them in the Champions Cup and the upcoming stages of this one as well. But I am just having a look through. La Rochelle full-time score 29 points in the end for themselves, and we will quickly add these ones onto the try scorers list as well, or we will add the updated score. So La Rochelle able to win their game in the end, 29 points to the 10. So Castro is able to fight back just a little bit more in their matchup as well. We will add that, and we will go full time then in the game between Racing 92 and Perpignan. In the end, it is 14 points to Racing 92, or sorry, 14 for the team that they were playing, Perpignan. And also it was the case of 17 for Racing 92, so a very close game in that regard. Montpellier only losing that game by 4 points in the end as well. And then also Biarritz, that game was a little bit more one-sided in that regard, and it was 40-5 in the end as well. So they are all the top 14 games that we did need to update. Also, the game between Glasgow and the Lions at the moment is sitting 10-3 at halftime, and then all the other games of the Gallagher Premiership, now we will start updating these ones as well. So the game between Exeter Chiefs and Worcester at this stage is sitting 14-0 going into the second half, and Worcester just a little bit behind. Gloucester are sitting at this stage 20 points to 10 up in their game. I have got 120. That is a few too many, but 20 points to 10 in that one. And then the London Irish leading their match up against Leicester 6 points to 5. And then this game that we have got here, 10 points to the 17 as well. But we will go like this, and we will go like that. We have got them all up as well. Predictions for the Challenge Cup and Champions Cup winner. I know that Munster has been put right up there in terms of one of those sides to really push their way, but also we have got their way to go, Ronan O'Gara and La Rochelle, and they're another side that could cause an upset in the Champions Cup. They made it all the way to the final in the last year's one, and Toulouse at the end were able to knock them out in that regard, but they fought hard throughout that whole game and that whole competition as well. Getting some massive wins over Leinster was just their absolute biggest one that they could have had as well. Hamish Perpignan, Pepe Neon, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And also Lion is Leon as well. So that is very good advice. Thank you very much, Sebastian. I will try my best to get those pronunciations right. I don't think I've ever done a live stream for either of those sides. So I feel like that is probably why I haven't been able to pronounce it too well as well. We have got there. How are you feeling after last night? Says it kind of coin in there to SRB. Is that Sebastian? If I'm not wrong there. But yeah, at this stage, it's going to be interesting to see the games that are coming back. Harlequins, what a comeback they had up against the Bristol Bears. But Munster, they have got their game coming up on Monday, I believe, if I'm not wrong, 2 a.m. New Zealand time. I wanted to watch that game. I'll probably end up watching the highlights instead. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting matchup. And they are at the moment sitting very comfortably on the Pro 14 / the URC. I still need to get used to saying URC at the moment. This seems so tight game so far. Yeah, it was in the end, I want to say it was a 17 points nil or almost somewhere around there for them in that regard. But then Saracens able to fight back a little bit. But I will show the table for the URC at the moment. We have got there. It's going to be a little bit unorthodox, but it will hopefully do. Ulster sitting on 15 points. Leinster sitting on 14. And then Munster only playing 2 games. They are sitting on 10. So they've got an opportunity. If they win their next game by 19 points, they will leapfrog. Also are sitting in first. Then it is Ospreys, Benetton, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Scarlets, Cardiff, Connacht, and then you've got those South African sides right down the bottom there at the moment. But the Lions not out of their matchup yet. And also it was the Sharks who were able to get their first win of the competition as well. And also Pat Lam will leave in 2023. I believe he locked it in till 2027, if I'm not wrong. But I guess he will be able to get out of that contract earlier if he does choose so. Let's not start the Munster and Leinster debate, please, now as well, says Gary. And also, we've got the Kiwis. I feel like Razor wants to coach the ABs after Foster. I think he will go to the Bears as well, says Postman Pat. And also can't sleep. Let me say that someone in my household loves to make a lot of noises, says Mike Jones Sr. So, yeah, hopefully you will be able to get some sleep at some stage. But I feel like after this game, I might have to consider calling it a night. I wanted to do that game at 7:45 a.m. that has taken place between the Bulls and also Cardiff because of the likes of Josh Adams. Also, I believe Josh Nvidia is back. Sorry, not Josh Nvidia. That is the wrong name. What is Nvidia's first name? Is it Josh? Nvidia. What is Nvidia's first name, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure someone in the chat will be able to help me out. Is it Josh? Might be Josh. Might actually be Josh as well. We have got the high-five to stranger on the night bus. Brother, pure ecstasy as well, says Sebastian. Also, we have got there. We'll see Gary, says Kanakoin. And also, we have got there. Gary Leinster is better in every way, as well, says Postman Pat. And also, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because I know Kanakoin is a Munster man. And also, we have got there. Can't wait to see Sean McMahon get more minutes as one of my favourite players as well. He's doing very well at the moment in terms of being able to come back. You can just see that he hasn't lost a single bit of pace, a bit of power or anything like that. He's going to be coming back and he's going to be strong for them. And their 4-pack is something that the Wallabies at the moment are really starting to build up. They're bringing back Will Skelton, also bringing back Rory Arnold, kind of those guys who will be able to change that forward pack for the better because they have changed the backline. They've got Quay Cooper at the moment, Samu Karevi as well, Andrew Callaway, young, upcoming talent at the moment. You'll know a lot about him, I would think, Xavier, but it's going to be exciting to see what can happen in the later stages of the year in terms of those internationals because we've got so many of them back to back taking place in November alongside the Cricket World Cup as well. I can see months back, Marcus Smith, it was a massively talented player and his performance last night makes him a certain 10 for England as well, says Kanakoin. And tell you what, him in the game, I'm not too sure whether or not you guys have watched this game, but if you haven't, if it is anywhere, be sure to check it out. It was the Wasps playing the Harlequins last year for the Gallagher Premiership. And in the end, Marcus Smith scoring the final try of that match to make the score 44 points to 42 in that one. And that game just went down to the wire. Final minute try as well. Do you watch Test or only T20? I do watch a bit of both, although normally with the amount of rugby that we have on recently, I haven't had a chance to watch as much Test match cricket as I would like to, but I'm kind of keen on doing the Ashes as well, although that would be 40 hours of me talking, which I feel like would be too many for you guys to be able to handle. You would go insane listening to me kind of ramble on for 40 hours. I would think that we have got there. The blue jersey is my closest, says I agree with you as well, says it Gary Miller. And also we have got there, he loves, I'd love to see Marcus as an England number 10 as well. He deserves it all. And also we have got there, oh wait, Gary, I'm a Munster fan. Leinster sucks as well, says Postman Pat. And also we have got there in the chat, never seen any team make a comeback like that and end up finishing more points ahead than they were behind as well. Says Kanakoin in there. But yeah, 21-0, I believe they were sitting, if we're talking about that game between Bristol Bears and Harlequins. Very impressive second half for the Harlequins. And it kind of gave me flashbacks of that semi-final last year for the playoff games as well. We have to get there. And it was fairly similar to in the game against Bears in the playoffs as well. So they're a little bit of the bogey team, I guess you could say, in that regard for them at the moment. But they won't be too happy with that one, but I wouldn't think. But I am just looking through to make sure none of those top 14 results have changed. No, they are still all the same. There's another game kicking off in 40 seconds. And that is going to be the game between Toulouse and also Pau. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly for that one, but at this stage, we'll see whether or not I can get that up on my screen as well. I've got about 4 different screens going on at the moment in terms of the amount of rugby that we have got. Sky Sports Select at the moment, they were showing the highlights of Otago versus Taranaki. Also, what leagues are on Rugby Challenge? It's Premiership Rugby on it. It is actually licensed on there, so they have got it is the Gallagher Premiership, Super Rugby also licensed, and the Curry Cup is another one that has got the licensing there. And then there's a few competitions that are in the game, but they aren't licensed. The likes of, they have got the top 14, the Pro 14, and those ones, but they haven't got licensed players or kits. But because I'm on PC, I have actually been able to have it so that I can mod the kits into the game. And on our Be a Pro mode, I actually have got all of those kits and whatnot in there as well. I like T20 Test matches, amazing stuff. IPL is great too as well, says Gary Miller. And also, we have got the Just Became a Cricket Fan. I love it as well, says Gary. So this will be the place to be for the Cricket World Cup. We are going to be doing exactly what we do for the rugby in terms of doing it for the cricket as well. And I'm very excited to see that competition take place. And those games aren't at terrible hours. They're not great at times. I believe the latest game is 3 a.m. and they go for about 3 hours. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes as well. Kiwi Ewan Lloyd as well is a future Wales number 10. He's brilliant as well. Says Postman Pat, and also we have got there in the chat. Bears are such a massive disappointment this season. I won't be surprised if Lamb is going before season ends. As well as kind of going in, yeah, they have certainly not got off to the start that a lot of people expected them to be able to do. And what's your prediction for USA versus Uruguay? If it's anything like last time in terms of the USA versus Canada series, I think the USA will win this game by about 10 points or so and secure themselves that spot. And then Uruguay will play, I'm going to say it's going to be Canada, Uruguay versus Canada, and then the winner of that game will be going through to the final as well. But we will look through. Also, we are talking about the URC a little bit on this live stream. These are the fixtures that they are going to be having next week for that competition. And then after that, I believe the week after, we lose all of the South African sides out of the URC. So as you can see there, it is going to be Stormers and also the Lions both playing at 7:35 on a Saturday. That is a terrible time here in New Zealand because of the fact that these games that go through the middle of the night, in terms of those ones, the likes of Cardiff playing the Sharks, all these great games are taking place at late hours. And I believe if I had gotten up for the game earlier on today between the Sharks and in the end, who do they win? Up against the Sharks, played the Ospreys. And if I had gotten up for that game, I would be sitting at being up for around 21 hours already at this point. So I decided to sleep in just a little bit longer, but I still ended up editing and whatnot during that time as well. And Ewan Lloyd will rival Marcus Smith in the future. And also, we have there. I still think the Bears will reach the top 4 this season. Are still young. Says Sebastian there, and well done, Quins. Says Kana going in there in the chat as well. But I believe we are very close to the second half of this game getting underway. And then also, looking at the Gallagher Premiership, I have got the fixtures that are taking place next week as well. Sale playing the Harlequins. It should be a very good game. Also, it will be the Wasps playing Exeter is the game that they are going to be showing at 3 a.m. on this Sunday. And then Bath playing Saracens. That's the other thing. The URC keeps on overlapping with the Gallagher Premiership games. And I've kind of been sitting on the fence of what competition to cover kind of more. So I've been doing a little bit of the Gallagher Premiership, but I believe we will be doing the URC a little bit more in the coming weeks as well, and kind of doing this cross-streaming thing that we are be doing here for this one as well. Hamish, who wins the Cricket World Cup? Thoughts as well, says Gary. It's a very tough one because there are some very capable sides. I would say my top runners for the competition, if I'm allowed to pick about 4, because of the fact that I find it very hard to decide. I feel like at this stage, I would say India are always up there in terms of the skill level. Also, I want to say maybe Australia. They're pretty good with their T20. So I would say if I had to pick 4 teams to pick between, I'd say Australia, India, I'll say New Zealand because I'm nice enough in that regard. And then I feel like also England are probably the other one to look out for in that one. But then there's the likes of South Africa, who could be a bit of a dark horse in the competition. It's very tough to pick, but do let me know, Gary, who you think will be winning that one. But I am just excited for the amount of games that we're going to get to see. It's pretty much just going to be daily cricket content on the channel as well as rugby. We've got so much going on in the next few weeks, which is why I have to try and get the sleep schedule in check, which is also why we've been cutting back a little bit on the games that start at about 5 or 7 a.m. just so that we can kind of adjust our body clocks so that we're ready to go for the next couple of weeks. But they are showing a whole heap of slow motion replays of Rieko Ioane running past Geordie Barrett there. And also we have got the New Zealand will win the Cricket World Cup in 2023 as well. And same with Sam Costlew is the other name from Postman Pat there to look out for. But looking at this match so far, we have had a few tries in this one. A penalty try for Saracens, and then also the try scored for the other side, the Newcastle Falcons. Forgot their name for a second there. I am just looking back through the chat because I think I did end up taking it away in the earlier stages, but it was Mike Brown and also Ben Stevenson who were the other try scorers for them in that regard. I feel like I may have to leave that one in the chat, or it might have gone past just a little bit earlier on. I'm looking through. I don't think I can find it here at this stage as well from Sebastian. There it is. We will put that one up on the screen just for now. But at this stage, getting very close to the second half, getting back underway. They are showing a little bit of a promo for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. That's going to be a very good fight to watch as well, and that's going to be taking place a little bit later on in the day here in New Zealand. Same for I would pick as well. Virat Kohli is something else. He is indeed. He is a fighting spirited type of man who just keeps on digging deep no matter what the situation. And him and Williamson actually have a little bit of a close friendship, if I'm not wrong there. They kind of get along quite well from their time. I believe they were at the same IPL club, if I'm not wrong. And also Kiwi Lads New Zealand versus India as the 2023 final as well, says Postman Pat. I guess very similar to the Test World Championship that we did see very recently when New Zealand were able to get the win. I did actually stay up in the middle of the night to watch that one as well, because of the fact that I was actually in the lounge at that point, which probably sounds weird, kind of off a little bit of topic, but there's a mattress in the background, and that was not the mattress I was sleeping on, but because my room was getting renovated, it did mean that I did end up sleeping out here in the lounge. I believe I stayed in the lounge for about 2 months. I was here a little bit longer because of the fact it was just convenient to be able to sleep there and then go here and then do the live streams as well. But we are working currently on plans of getting the Wi-Fi out to the Kiwi Lads pad, I guess you could say, but it's pretty much just a little shed in the backyard slash lockup type thing, or is it called a sleep out, I believe, in other countries, is how it is referred to. But I've got to work out how to get Wi-Fi out to there because of the fact that it is a little bit far away from the modem, and I will need to be plugged in. So I believe more than likely I may actually have to buy another modem and then kind of have two modems both running Wi-Fi, which will be a little bit of a costly venture, but I think the setup out there will look a little bit more better in the later stages as well, like that pick as well. Says Postman Pat for the final for New Zealand versus India as well. And I believe that final was going to be taking place at about 3 a.m. New Zealand time, and I'm going to be up for it because it should be a very good one indeed. At the stage now, Saracens about to kick this one off once again, getting underway for the second half of it as well. Glasgow are leading Lions 10-6. They are indeed. We have got it down the bottom as well for the live scores of every single match that has taken place at the moment, including Toulouse. We haven't actually added Toulouse, though, onto that one, but they are going to be playing Pau, and it has been kicked off. We have got the wide camera angle at the moment, and I've never actually realised. It's only when you realise now, seeing this camera angle, I believe, Katie, you are watching the game as well. When you see this camera angle, you realise how much of a difference, or how much hard work those cameramen do to be able to get that kind of going. And every single time it has been kicked downfield, this is a camera angle that I have never watched rugby from for a full game, I don't believe. And also what Saracens are losing, they are indeed. They were down 17-0, but they were able to fight back a little bit. We haven't got a scoreboard at the moment. We haven't got a camera angle either. That is kind of showing the game from a decent distance, but I'm sure they will fix it very soon. 10-5 as well, says Gregor Galway. So what game would that be in? Gregor, do let me know there as well, because I will be going through and trying to update all of them as we go as well. But my app is a little bit slow with showing what it is, but now it's going to be very tough to know what's going on at the moment. It looks like a rolling maul about 50 meters away from this camera at the moment. Okay, it is going to be a scrum to Saracens. I have never watched rugby like this. That is for sure. And also we have got there London Irish, says Gregor Galway. And also we do see 21-0 for Exeter at the moment in their game up against Worcester, and it was Cordero who was able to score that try for them as well. And Oscar Hibbelads, can you play Rugby 08? I would absolutely love to. I haven't quite worked out how to record my PS2 at this stage, but I believe you can get it on PC, if I'm not wrong, but I haven't worked out how to download it yet. But once I do, I will certainly be playing a little bit of Rugby 08. It is one of those games that was way ahead of its time. No one has realised that the camera angle is still broken for the Saracens game that we have got at the moment. The Lions, they are sitting on 5 points. No, sorry, they are not sitting on 5 points. They are sitting on 6 points, I should say, at the moment. And then also going through these other matches that are taking place. 21-0 for the Exeter Chiefs over Worcester. They only need one more to be able to get themselves a bonus point. Okay, we have got the new camera angle, and we are back to being able to see what is going on at the moment. We have got there Wish EA could make a game as well. Yeah, hopefully Rugby 22 will be a decent one because of the fact that it is only around 3 months away or so, and we will be playing that on the channel as well. I also own Rugby 22, but I've never played it on the channel, so perhaps that is another one that we could look at. But now they are going to be 10 meters out, or sorry, 50 meters out at the moment here for Saracens, and Schroeder looking like he is going to be kicking the ball up for Newcastle. We have got there No Way, Not EA as well. So he's going to go in, and also True Words that never been spoken, says Sebastian. And also we have got the Nostalgia stream. That would be awesome if Hamish is down for it as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, I think I will have to get a new PS2 controller to be able to run it smoothly, because unfortunately for me, for my PS2, I don't believe the kind of wire of the PlayStation controller is too great. But if I do get a new one of that, I will certainly be able to get that live stream going in the future as well, which I am very excited for. Because of the fact, even a Rugby 22 or a Rugby League Live 4, we've got a whole heap of ideas at the moment to do with rugby that we have got plenty of time, hopefully, in the coming weeks to be able to do so as well. Did you see the new cricket game they come out with in Australia as well? I do see Cricket 22, I believe it is, and it's going to be coming up very soon, if I'm not wrong there, and it's currently 10-9. So it's going to go in that game between the Lions and also it will be Glasgow. I keep on forgetting the name of Glasgow for some reason. I'm not too sure why, because they have got quite a few recognisable faces in that regard, but they are sitting 9 points to 10, so it's a very close game in that regard. And the Lions, who knows, imagine if all 4 South African sides were able to get wins in this round. It would be absolutely incredible for them. And now kicking back downfield, it's going to be taken now by Mike Brown, just inside of his own 22. Done the spiral kick. It's going to be taken nicely, though, by Davis, and now Max Maitland's looking for a little bit of space. And with the quick hands, Jamie George bounces up for Sean Maitland, and now he's pinning the ears back, got the man on the inside. A bit of a juggle, and it is going to be the knock on. And it does now mean that it will be Newcastle Falcons who have got the scrum fever. Yet Cricket 22, I believe it comes out in November, kind of mid-November after the Cricket World Cup, which is pretty awesome. I'm hopefully going to be playing a little bit of that as well on the channel. And it is currently 9-5 in the game between the London Irish and Leicester. I do see as well that they have been able to extend their lead just that little bit more in those other games. It is a low scoring one for that one so far, but I'm sure that it will start ramping up very soon as well. We have got there. I'd love to see more victories from the South African sides. The 2 opening rounds were disastrous for them as well, says Sebastian. And yeah, it will always hopefully be the case of them being able to make their way into those Champions Cup positions, because at the end of the day, I believe it is actually one South African side, no matter what, will challenge in the Champions Cup in 2023, but it's whether or not any other sides. I believe it's all based off points. So it's the top 4, one from each province goes through into that Champions Cup, and then it is the next 4 in terms of it doesn't matter what conference you're in, it's just the next 4 teams will be the ones who go through to that Champions Cup as well. So I'm excited, and I hope to see a few South African sides in that Champions Cup just to have that Southern Hemisphere flair in that one as well. Gloucester are leading their game 23 points to the 10 at the moment, I do see. So they're having a decent game so far up against the Sale Sharks. At this stage in Newcastle, they were the underdogs going into this game, about an $8 underdog, so they had a brilliant start to this match so far. Now, once again, they are going to be trying to roll their way forward. It's a big scrum from the Lions on the 22 at the moment in their game up against Cardiff as well. I believe the most notable name I should mention for us New Zealand and Australians who love watching a bit of this Northern Hemisphere rugby, it would probably be Jack Dempsey, the number 8. And they're going to be marched forward once again. Saracens have ended up, Newcastle giving away another 10 metres here. And that does mean that it is now going to be a kickable one. They're going for the scrum instead, though. And it looks like it's pouring down for the game between Lions and Glasgow. And also we have got the European national teams license, URC Gallagher Premiership and Top 14 as well. Says Sebastian, will Rugby 22 have all the licenses? Because if so, I'll buy it as well. Yeah, so I believe they will be missing the Super Rugby, but they should have the URC. Will they have the Gallagher Premiership? Because I know that Rugby Challenge locked in that license for 2021, I believe it was, if I'm not wrong there. But I guess because it is ticking over to that new year, perhaps they will be able to get it there for that one. And Top 14 as well is another one which will be cool to see. But now it's going to be Vunipola once again trying to pass this ball back. There's a lot of pressure on the Saracens side here, and it's a penalty from the scrum. Is the call, so it is going to be the penalty for them. This is a kickable 3, but they might look for the corner instead to try and get themselves a few more extra points, and Owen Farrell is going to be doing so. They need to make sure they keep on scoring points here, Saracens, because at the end of the day, it's a minute and a half left of that yellow card, and they need to make the most of it as well. Was in the end the number, I want to say it was the number, who was it who got carded? I believe it was actually, I've actually forgotten who it was who ended up getting carded there. I want to say it was their number 12. Lucock, but I don't think it was. Actually, no, it was George McGigan. It was a man with a 2 in the name, 2 in the number, but it was actually 12 rather than, it was 2 rather than 12, but now rolling more here for Saracens. Driven towards the touchline, very close here as well. They've got the advantage once again here, but the Saracens, tell you what, they will have to be very careful in Newcastle, or else they could end up with an extra man in the minute. It's going to be a bounce pass here. Out to Maitland now. Max Maitland's trying to step across field, drag down as well here, 30 metres out, and they're going back for the penalty once again. Rugby Challenge own the rights to the English national team. You have the licensed premiership and Rugby 20 as well, says Sebastian. So I guess in that regard, they will be able to have, because that's the thing, international teams are one of those ones, because I know that Big Ant, I believe they have rumoured that they are going to be making a World Cup game. So hopefully they have all of the teams that qualify for that World Cup licensed, because at the end of the day, if they can do that, then it will be pretty awesome to see all of those sides. And Big Ant, I should say, Rugby League Live 4 is a decent game. The defense is a little bit tricky, but they have got the fan hub, which is an absolutely huge opportunity to be able to just customize everyone, face scans and all sorts, and kits as well. It's going to be the rolling more advantage once again here for Saracens. And the Falcons going to be under pressure once again. And now it's starting to march. It's going forward. Jamie George still got this ball, trying to stop it from moving forward here for the Saracen side. And it's another penalty. What do they do now? The card is starting to get very close to coming back out onto the field here for their 15th man, McGigan. Initial entry is the call there, and I believe it was wrapping around, and it was Chiku they didn't end up penalising there, but now Glasgow got a line out in their game as well. But it is actually a little bit easier at this stage. Only having to update a few. Oh, Jamie George, you've just done that. He's just scored the try for Saracens, and he is fired up at the moment. He almost looked like he was going to uppercut his own player if he had to celebrate that one. But Jamie George taking the quick tap and going for it, and he was able to get it. At least the Tigers have taken the lead as well. Says Gregor Galway there. So because of it, I will update their scoreboard at exactly the same time. But Jamie George, what happens here for this man? Takes the quick tap, just throws himself at the line like he's a bulldozer, goes straight through like a freight train, and he was able to score the try there. That does give the Saracens possibly back to that even playing field as well. We will update that one for the Leicester Tigers as well. With the London Irish, they were able to get that try, but now they are sitting 12 points as well, so they are doing very decently. They've been able to take the lead, but Jamie George absolutely fired up there. And it was in the end, if I'm not wrong, it was Marco Riccioni who was right in his face as well, celebrating with the man, and also try scorers Mike Brown, Ben Stevenson, a penalty try, and Jamie George now for them as well. And is there a salary cap in club rugby? Oh, it's a good question. I assume there would be some sort of cap in that regard. I'm not too sure what the number would be, but I assume they would have to have some sort of one so that you can't end up with players just making a whole heap of money. Riccioni now trying to bulldoze his way forward just outside of the 22 now for Saracens, and we're back to an even playing field for the later stages of this one. Davison going off the field, and it's going to be Mulampola recently having his 50th test cap, or sorry, his recent 50th cap for Newcastle. Mike Brown now offloading it at the back, and it's going to be now down the wing. Stevenson once again with another carry. He's been playing very well in their midfield so far. Now passing it back across there, Mulampola getting his first carry of the match so far, but Billy Vunapola getting on the ball always. And also, back with T. What did I miss as well? You did miss Jamie George almost punching his own player, but he was that fired up after scoring the try off a quick tap that he did end up getting Saracens back to 17-17. And also, we've had a try in the Leicester Tigers game. They were able to score it. And I can even tell you the player as well. It was Liebenberg who was able to score that one for them. So they have been able to take the lead. Max Malins now is going to be stepping. Always stepped himself, and he's ended up falling over. But now driving forward once again here. It is going to be in the hands of Gary Graham. I want to say it was, but it wasn't because he is on the wrong side. Now it's going to be fired back there. A little bit of a no-look pass, and it's going to be a knock-on advantage. Munapola able to take that one just outside of his 22. And in the end, I believe it was actually Callum Hunter-Hill to get that one alongside Nick Ezekwe. Hopefully I pronounced that one correctly as well. And just a rumour so far, but the MLR as well. Hopefully they do get that competition. And also the top league would be another awesome one to see in one of these games going forward. At this stage, it's going to be an advantage now for Saracens. I believe it is for a high tackle. Owen Farrell, huge cutout pass now. And into the hands of Maitland, offloads it now to Marco Vunapola. Trying to run for, but he is going to be dragged down there. They're going back for the penalty. We have got there also for Rugby 22, Japan Eagles and Canada in the D2 French second tier as well in there. And Newcastle winning. Damn, this could be a great upset as well. Says Keelan. Yeah, they were sitting 17-0 up against Saracens. They have been able to fight back here, Saracens, but now both sides back to the 15 men. And at the end of the day, they have been playing very well, Newcastle. They've had probably more of the go forward at times, but the momentum's starting to shift, and they need to get the ball out to Radwan, I would say, because if they can give him a bit of space, he will be doing very nicely as well. Hernan uploads top 14 replays. That's the best I'll get. He is the name that I was thinking of as well, mate. And also, MLR going to get some respect one of these days as well, says Katie Dixon. I'd absolutely love to see it because, I mean, even in Rugby Challenge, I've been thinking about trying to make the competition, but I don't think I have enough spare spaces in terms of players to be able to download all of the sides because of the fact I think you have a 1,500 limit, and I have got about 1,300 or somewhere around there at the moment on me Rugby Challenge. So running a little bit low, so I have to go through and delete all the double ups at some stage, but that will be definitely a hefty venture. But now making 3 subs here for Saracens. It's going to be Alex Good out on the field, replacing Maitland now. Vunipola once again passing it back now. Owen Farrell now with the passer. Actually, that was Alex Good getting his first carry of this match as well. And now Saracens only going to be sending 15 minutes out. It's out the back line. Now it's going to be Owen Farrell. There's an advantage going the way of the Saracens as well. But also will the Jaguars, or Hikuare, sorry, join the MLR. I hope that they find some sort of competition because of the fact that they haven't really had too much rugby in recent times. Of course, Argentina playing international fixtures pretty much each and every week. But, yeah, it would be nice to see them get a little bit more game time. Sale have actually scored a try as well at this stage, and it was the try of Reed, who was able to score. And then Exeter was at the zombie man himself. No, it was Cordero again, so it wasn't. Jeez, that looks scary. And there was supposed to be Stuart Hogg. Doesn't quite look like him at the moment. I actually saw something on a website, but I will tell you guys about it in a very short moment because the fact that now it is going to be the Saracens once again with this rolling ball going on as well. And Ric Flair noises the woo in the chat, and it's going to be Marco Vunipola has been able to break through, and now Saracens going to be taking the lead in this game as well. Marco Vunipola, the big man, if only Marco Vunipola was here with us. RIP to him because of the fact that his account got banned, but it is a try to them there. And also we have got there, there's supposed to be Major League Cricket as well soon. That would be interesting. And so we have got there, it's rumored that Rugby 22 acquired the rights to the league, given they have USA Eagles in Canada as well. Hopefully it's true. Yeah, hopefully it is indeed. But Jamie George there with the line out throw. And then from here, it was just Vunipola trying to look where he came from, but he kind of broke off the back. And there was just no one there. And he was able to run straight through the middle. And Marco Vunipola able to score himself the try there. Just going straight through the middle. There was no defence there. Radwan tried to stop him. He ended up getting sat on by the big man. And in the end, he was able to drive his way over the try scorers. Now we have got Mike Brown, Ben Stevenson, penalty try, Jamie George and Marco Vunipola as another one as well. And 14-7 for the London Irish. They were able to get a try as well. And their one in London Irish try as well. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, do let me know who that was who did score. I was going to see if my app has updated it. That one has gone over from Owen Farrell, and now the score is going to be sitting 24 points to Saracens and 17 for the Newcastle Falcons. And this is more like it from the Saracens. This is what we are kind of, or what we have been expecting from them as well, to be able to get that momentum going, get themselves a few tries. And at the moment, it is looking like they are going to be sitting in a decent position to be able to win this one. But of course, the game is still young. Santiago, or sorry, not Santiago, but Cordero at the moment scoring 2 tries for Exeter Chiefs. And then Saracens at the moment as well. We will have to add a few more points in that regard. And the London Irish are able to get themselves the try. So they move up onto 14 points at the moment. So a lot of games going on at the moment. And also in the URC at this stage, it is sitting 9 points to the Lions, 10 to Glasgow. But that could be about to change because 5 metres out here, the Lions have got themselves a rolling ball. And it is going forward. It's going to touch there from Mike Brown, who did claim that one. And now it is going to be the line out, for the Newcastle Falcons. I got that around the wrong way a little bit. I got something in my eye. That is unfortunate as well. We're now driving forward. Oh, it's a knock on against the Lions there as well. We have got there 24-14, or sorry, 24-17 go Saracens as well. And also we have got there, can I say, I actually enjoy seeing a try from Marco, ultra talented Lucia prop. Yeah, he definitely is. And it's one of those ones I'm sure that Marco Vunipola would have been very proud of him in that regard. But there's something so satisfying about seeing a big man just power through a gap and be able to run all the way. It was actually Augustin Crevi who was able to score that try. Ex-Argentine international, only just behind Nicolas Sanchez in terms of test caps for Argentina. Vunipola on the ball, and he wins the penalty for his side as well. So not only has he scored the try, but now he is getting back up with a penalty to the side of Saracens, and they are starting to take momentum back as well. We have got their Saracens waking up finally, going to make it interesting, I guess, as I says, Gary, and I want someone to measure the exact distance that Marco Vunipola can throw me across the field as well. I'd assume it would be a fair distance. He looks like he would be able to probably bench press relatively far there. Vunipola just gets the good body position straight on the ball with McGigan on the ground. Wait, where was the ball there? Actually, now that I look at it, he may not have even had the ball there. It looked like he was wrapped around the waist rather than that, getting ready for a suplex perhaps if he needed to. And now Vunipola once again, they are going to be going for the corner here, Saracens. Like I mentioned, one more try gives them the bonus point in this match as well, and they've been able to take a little bit more momentum in this one as well. Thrown to the back there, Jamie George, a little bit of an overthrow, but taken nicely by Vunipola now for offloading him. My voice trying to disappear there. And I think it is because of how many live streams we have been doing. We've done 3 Bunnings NBC ones, which I feel like is a decent effort because normally you only get the 1 or the 2 in for the weeks, but now it's available once again here for the Saracens, and it's actually going to be stolen through the middle there, and what was done very nicely by the number 17 for the Newcastle side, and also forwards take care of the scoring. You don't see it every day as well. says Sebastian. And yeah, it's one of those ones that a lot of these guys, like the big forwards, I believe it was actually Ben Tamefuna was able to score himself a try in the top 14. Looked a little bit high from the number 6 from it was the Newcastle Falcons, but now it's drawn past little kick behind. Instead is the option there that they have gone with. It's an awkward bouncing one for Mike Brown, and he is only going to be a few meters out from the line, and it's going to be going back for the high tackle, and I believe that was the tackle against Gary Graham. So that is actually going quite a far way back, I should say, as well there. But now at this stage, I am just looking, and the score is still 10 points to Glasgow, 9 to the Lions in that game at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not there will be a change there. But penalties conceded in the second half, this is a huge stat, ladies and gentlemen. The Falcons giving away 7 so far compared to the none of Saracens. So they are doing very nicely in that regard with the discipline. And they will have to be very careful in terms of not giving away another yellow card here for Newcastle, or else that man advantage, it did cost them a little bit last time. I will quickly update one of my scoreboards as well, because I do still have it that it is 14 points to the London Irish, but really they are now sitting themselves on 16 points. They're able to take just a little bit more of a lead, and I believe Nick Phipps is actually playing 9 for them in this game as well. 35-0 now for the Exeter Chiefs. So have they scored again? I believe that is actually another try, if I'm not wrong there, unless I didn't update it from last time. I'm trying to remember. They have scored plenty of them, that is for sure, in this match. Surely Stuart Hogg gets himself a try soon. We have got him in zombie form. He does. I would be a very happy man at the moment. And also we have got there when's the 2 Cents Rugby collab coming? We need it as well, says Xavier Brown. I think it is probably more in his court than mine, because of the fact that I think at this stage, it would be us asking him, and it's whether or not he wants to, would be whether or not we do get to get that one going as well there. Farrell now going to be kicking this one, and by the looks of it, we'll be able to get an extra 3 points on the board. But because of the fact that he is quite a lot bigger than us, he may decide that he doesn't want to collab with the little fella in that regard. How far would Brodie Retallick from the AVs throw you as well, says Gary Miller? That's a good question, and that is going to be another 3 points here for Saracens. So now they're going to be sitting on 27 points to the 17 of the Newcastle Falcons. At this stage, 58 minutes into this game as well. He's a unit mate as well, says David. And also, Brodie probably threw me about 16 yards as well, says Katie Dixon. There was a strike and a half from Owen Farrell then. I'm just looking at all these scoreboards just continuing to tick up here. It was actually Sam Simmons who scores another one. Didn't play for the first couple games for the Exeter Chiefs, but now he has been able to score himself 2 tries in this game already. And now Vunapola very close to the touchline, inside of the 22 at the moment here for the Saracens once again. And they have been able to have a lot of the possession in the second half as well, which has been hugely helping them in regards of trying to keep that momentum going forward for themselves. Kick downfield once again from Davies. That thing in my eye is still bothering me. It's not my eyeball though, and now it's going to be Mike Brown, who is getting tackled there by Lewington. Was trying to get straight in the breakdown. Ben Stevenson now trying to shunt off the tackle with the number 20 for Saracens, but he has been halted as well. Big drive there from Cooper. Trying to pierce his way through once again, and now it's going to be a high ball. Interesting tactic there. It's worked out though, because now it's on the side of the, once again, Nathan Earls. Very quiet game from him so far, but now we're seeing him get another opportunity. But Ty Furlong could throw me probably about 30 yards as well, says Katie Dixon there. But now it's going to be round one. He's got a bit of a step on him as well. He's got the man on the outside, and he's actually in touch there. Interesting, just well and truly misinterpreted where the touchline was compared to himself, and they've taken that one quickly there, Saracens, and now they are kicking it back down the middle of the field, but maybe a little bit of a mistake there, because now it is going to be the counter-attack here, and it's going to be Conan now trying to pierce the gap. Radwan now 45 meters out. He is a name that I'm looking for, and instead now it's going to be the skip pass out now into the hands of Graham, who finds the offload. Another man tumbling forward, I believe it was Luke Ock in the number 12 jersey, and at this stage now they need to make sure they score the next try of this match here for Newcastle, and if they do, they will only need one more to get that bonus point as well. And now it's going to be passed back once again to Chick in the number 8 jersey. Schroeder passes it back across field. It's going to be Welch with the carry, getting driven backwards by Riccioni as well. And also, what hell did I just see as well? Says Xavier Brown, and Tyke very long has all the strength from growing the potatoes on his farm. And tell you what now, it's going to be a good run down the wing, just in touch though. It was the number 23 for Saracens, getting very close. Looks like, oh no, he's pulling up the sock. I thought for a second there, Nick Tompkins may have had a bit of an injury. Ty Furlong is a precious potato as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, we've got there Makavina Whanarua Whanganui Atara Vunapola was his dad for real as well. Is that his name? Yeah, well, I couldn't pronounce that to save myself there. And also, we have got there, that's for sure, big lad as well, says Gary Miller. For Tyke Furlong, of course, but just in the touchline there was Nick Tompkins. But this game now only having 19 minutes left. Graham off the field, and that's going to be Basham now making his way out there. Josh Basham, that is. And now I'm looking here, and Glasgow getting very close to the line by the looks of it there. Just a loose ball. It's slipping all over the place at the moment for them as well. Will you stream the women's rugby competition next year? If that is the World Cup that we are talking about, I will certainly be watching those games, and I could even be doing live streams for a lot of them as well. I probably need to learn a few more of the women's players, but I'm keen to do the Super Rugby games as well that they will be having for the Chiefs Blues. Also, that one's gone out on the full there. And it will also be the Hurricanes and then a South Island side for Super Rugby for the women's side of it. And also show me the front row of that as spry as a Tyke Furlong. You cannot as well, says Katie Dixon there. But now at the stage, 25 metres out, it is going to be Saracens with another opportunity here. Lucock coming off the field, and that's going to be a Wakoke making his way out there. I feel like I pronounced that name terribly. But he is a very talented player, and you will have a decent opportunity in the later stages of this one as well. And now driving forward once again here for the Saracens, it will be their number 7. Christie now with the carry on the 22, and at this stage now, if Saracens can score one more, they will get themselves a bonus point, which will help them boost their way back up towards the top of the table. Vunipola now with the offload as well. Now going back to Davis. Now Vunipola, the other Vunipola, that is Marco Vunipola, puts the ball down though with the knock on, and now it is going to be a scrumpy. No, it's not. They have still got the ball available. Schroeder now passes it back. Out the back line, Radwan now going to back the pace. He hasn't quite been tackled. He's very close to the touchline there. And Wakoke able to find the offload on the inside. Now it's going to be Mike Brown once again looking for the offload as well. So Newcastle really trying to pour on the speed for the later stages. It's going to be Mulipolna now getting the carry there. Schroeder fires it back once again, and they have got the men on the outside if they do decide to use them, and that is exactly what it looks like. No, instead stepping on the inside there was their number 5, who was able to make a try-saving tackle last year as well. And also we have got there a spry as well, says Gary Mellon. Also we have got there Lowell. I know he's not that old as well, says Katie Dixon. And now it's going to be Miller Polar once again going forward. It's an advantage in favour of the yes, they are going to be taking the penalty here, and it looks like it is actually their number 17, Kyle Cooper, who is down at the moment, which is not ideal. High tackle on that man as well. I'm just looking through the other scores, and at this stage it seems like we're at a bit of a stalemate for a lot of these games with 20 minutes to go. And the game between Toulouse and also okay, the game between Toulouse and Pau is actually going the way of Pau at the moment. They are winning 7-0 with the try, which is quite an interesting situation because of the fact you probably wouldn't have been expecting it. And they've actually had 2 attempts at penalties as well, but they have missed both of them. So they could have been 13-0 up in that game up against Toulouse, who are currently sitting top of the table, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. Yeah, they are, and they have still got the game in hand as well, which is very impressive there. But now it's going to be McGigan making his way off the field, and that's going to be for Jamie Blamire, I should say. And you got to admit, though, he's a man mountain, but he moves like a gazelle. Yeah, the step on the man is very impressive. That is for sure. And Billy, it's called Viliami Vunipola. The dad definitely took the wee with with Marco's name as well, says Sebastian there. Yeah, the stage, it is an interesting name in that regard. I'm sure there'll be plenty of meaning behind some of those middle ones, as you could say as well, because normally it is, I want to try and comment on it, but I'm not too sure in terms of the reasoning behind it. But normally there's family names involved in there, but Vunipola, they are brothers, aren't they? So I guess he got the short end of the stick in terms of Viliami Vunipola for his name there. And also we've got there So True, says Gary Miller as well, but now just outside of the 22, it is going to be Jamie Blamire going to the front here. Claim nicely. We have got the first yawn. That was a lovely face, but now it's going to be available for Schroeder once again. Yeah, I think this will have to be the last game of the night that we do cover, and then we will be doing plenty of live streams tomorrow as well. We will have the Be a Pro Rugby Challenge live stream at 7:30, and then the one just after the Far Cry 6 live stream with me and George, and then the game at 3 a.m. And now going back once again, and it's going to be through the gap, almost Conan, but dragged down by Marco Vunipola once again, making another tackle, being extremely good throughout this match with that defense. Schroeder once again going short side. I found the offload as well, and it was Luthuka was the pronunciation there, but now there is a player down at the moment in back play for them, so that is not ideal, and now it's going to be offloaded back for Saracens. Trying to break the line, it was Alex Good there, getting himself the carry, but it looks like now it is going to be the penalty to them as well. Have they still got the man advantage? I believe it was one of the players I keep on forgetting the name Newcastle Falcons. I'm not too sure why, because they are one of the more well-known ones in that regard, but it was the Thuka who was almost able to find his way through the gap, but then it was just a knock on from Nathan Earl as well. Get Hamish a Red Bull stat as well, says Gary Miller. Tell you what, if it wasn't sitting at 4:30 a.m. in New Zealand, I'd probably be keen for some sort of reviver in terms of an energy drink or something along those lines, even a hot chocolate. I feel like, when you have those stages when it's like the middle of the night, and you're just like, oh, I wouldn't mind a hot chocolate. But I think at this stage, there won't be a hot chocolate on the card, sadly. But if we end up going to KFC, because I know that you guys have been recommending a bit of KFC in the last couple of live streams, if we end up going to that KFC, I think, do they have hot chocolate? No, they have a McDonald's across the road, though, and they do have hot chocolate. So that's worth a shout as well. We will go into the hot chocolate fund, because, of course, all channels must have a hot chocolate fund for all those ones. Maybe a Red Bull sponsorship then as well, says Sebastian. I mean, George would love it. He would love Red Bull and Peanut Slab. It's just two ones as well. Here's a controversial topic. I knew I tried Newcastle Brown Ale once, and I did not like it as well, says Katie Dixon. I cannot say that I have tried that one, but I wonder if anyone else in the chat has as well. But at this stage, 65 minutes through this game between Glasgow and Lions, and it is still 10 points to 9. So the game started off with a frantic pace of Glasgow scoring the one and only try in the early stages. That's a man there. I believe that's Vincent Koch, if I'm not wrong there. So he will be not too far away from coming back for the Saracens as well. Get him some tea as well, says Gary Miller. And also, I've got there, or get him some tea. Oh, what's a tea that you guys recommend? Because I know that you guys probably drink regular tea, but in terms of a flavored tea, what is the one to go for? And just that, I don't actually know too many of the flavorings of the tea. I know that back at school, people used to drink kind of those berry ones. They were more the girls in our not our primary school, but our common room used to have them all. That was almost good hands there until it wasn't, and the ball was dropped. And now the Newcastle Falcons got this ball on their side, and it will be in the hands of the Thuka, I believe. Once again, I've got there Mr. Incredible as well. The resemblance is uncanny for that man, that is for sure. At this stage now, I am just looking up to see whether or not we've got any other changes in results at this stage for the other games. Gloucester sitting on 30 points now, so they were able to get themselves another try by the looks of it. And now the Lions, they might actually take the lead in that game as well. I believe they were lining up a kick, so we will quickly update that one as well while we are at it. So the Exeter Chiefs still sit in 35 now, but Gloucester able to get themselves a try. And in that match, it was the try of Lewis Rees-Zammit. Welcome back, mate. He is back with Gloucester. Johnny May is also playing for them, so they've got a very, very strong side. Do y'all have Snapple flavoured tea in New Zealand? I have heard of it, so I feel like maybe we have. But now it's going to be down the wing here. It's going to be Nathan Earl cutting on the inside, and now at this stage, Newcastle going to be sitting about 30 metres out using the back line once again now. It's going to be Thuka now trying to find the gap. It's going to be charged down by Mako Vunipolo. Sorry, that was Billy Vunipolo, I should say. Barry's tea from Ireland, the best. There is no other as well, says it Gary Miller. And also I've got the Geordies have strange tastes when it comes to alcohol. So says Sebastian. Also, I drink PG Tips and Barry's as well. Have you had bubble tea, Katie? Or anyone in the chat in that regard? Because I know that bubble tea seems to be one that people talk about quite a bit, but I always find it the situation of trying to consume full balls of jelly or something along those lines. I believe it's quite a trend at the moment, though, to have yourself a bubble tea. So do let me know if you guys have had one in that regard there. But we are looking at the moment, and it is going to be still 9 points to the Lions, 10 points to Glasgow at the moment. PG Tips, nothing else matters as well, says Sebastian there in the chat as well. So maybe that is a good one for me to try in the future, because I feel like this is going to be one that puts you guys on the back foot. I have never had tea, believe it or not. So that probably throws a lot of spanners in the works in terms of working out what one is best as well. I've never had tea, never had an energy drink, believe it or not. The most energy drink that I've had is a Powerade. So I feel like Red Bull would hear that and then be like, maybe we won't sponsor this guy. Oh yeah, let's got there. Is Samoa touring the Barbarians? Because 2 Cents Rugby said they're not, but the Samoans are promoting it on their Instagram as well. Says Go Time AFL is a legend. It's a good question, because I know originally that game is actually scheduled to take place in only about 4 weeks' time. I'm actually going to look on my app as well and see whether or not they have still got it scheduled in. But I know that it has been a little bit rumoured that maybe that game is going to be taking place. But at this stage, if it does take place, I see that the French Barbarians are going to be playing Tonga. That is a new fixture that I haven't actually seen announced before. But then I'm looking through here to see whether or not Barbarians versus Samoa, it does say that it's cancelled, the original one, but instead it's going to be the Samoa 15 by the looks of it. According to my app, that's going to be in 47 days. as well. So I'm not sure what the difference is between the Samoa 15 and the Barbarians, or sorry, the Samoa 15 and Manu Samoa. So I'm not too sure what's happening there, but anything that I do find out, I will be sure to let you guys know as well as we update it. Yes, Bubble Tea, Boba Tea is okay, but it's distracting with all these, all those tropical pills as well. Says Katie Dixon. Also, we have got there, I feel like I'm going to choke on them when I have it as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, we have got there, save your liver from energy drinks, Hamish. Don't consume them. Your body will thank you as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, we have got there, where did you get PG tips? Says that Gary Miller. Now at this stage, they are shown at this stage 10 minutes to go in this matchup. But yeah, the game between Barbarians and Samoa seems to be cancelled according to this app that I have got. But then Barbarians versus Samoa 15 is actually still available in that regard, because the Barbarians, they have got some good players. They're going to have Pablo Matera, Dwayne Vermeulen, Malcolm Marks. Also, it will be Quade Cooper is another name that has been announced there, but now it's going to be Jamie George going off the field, and Wollenscroft will be making his way out there. And what do you use to get all rugby news / fixes as well, says Go Time? I believe Ultimate Rugby is a good one, but the app that I am using is actually Tribe, because of the fact that it has got, if you are in New Zealand, that is, Go Time AFL is a legend, do let me know, but it is available in New Zealand, and pretty much you can have all of the sports that you want to cover. So pretty much I've got all of my Sky and all of the top 14, everything like that, international fixtures, everything along those lines. So I can go international rugby there. And then from there, pretty much come on, please focus. Is it going to do it? There we go. And then you can pretty much see all of the fixtures that are taking place at the time in New Zealand as well. And also we have got there, I can get them at Albertsons and Smiths and the Walmart, but I don't like to commit Walmart if I can help it as well. Says Katie Dixon. But now at this stage, it is going to be going back downfield. Saracens kicking it back into the hands of Newcastle. And we are getting very close to the end of this match as well. We have got there, Greece, stay away from energy drinks, but there are some fabulous tea options you should try as well. And also we have got the Hamish, what is that app? It is called Tribe. I believe at this stage they have only launched in New Zealand, if I'm not wrong, which is a bit of a shame, because of the fact that it is a very helpful one. It helps me out a huge amount when it comes to trying to work out exactly when games are taking place. Now kicking it downfield once again. And it is going to be taken very nicely there by Alex Good, trying to drive his way forward. Still going to be available, though, for them once again here. Saracens just outside of the 22. And also we've got their Tribe only available in New Zealand, I think, as well. But yeah, hopefully one day they do end up launching it in more countries as well. Because of the fact that, yeah, it's got everything. It doesn't just have rugby. It's got cricket. It's got soccer. It's got pretty much any sport that is going on. Basketball, hockey, you name it, it is on there at the moment, and they are continuing to extend it more, as well. Of course, it is only New Zealand as well, with the George emojis in the chat as well, taken nicely by Newcastle just outside of the 22. Is Ultimate Rugby available worldwide? It is indeed, but something that you do need to note with Ultimate Rugby is they have got an app, but the app they actually try and charge you for if you want to kind of get more information on the news and everything like that, but it is better off if you do it through their website. Cooper said he's not playing for the Barbarians. Says Go Home AFL as a legend. So I guess he must have very recently decided against it, because he was originally scheduled. I think they actually announced it for the Barbarians only about a week and a half ago, that they said that him, and also there were a couple other big forwards almost stolen there by Newcastle. It's going to be a knock on, though, from Jamie Blamire, who was almost able to pierce the gap there. And also we have got their moves to New Zealand just for the sweet apps as well, says Katie Dixon. But I believe Ultimate Rugby is everywhere. It is just the highlights available on their website. Sadly, they don't actually get to watch them everywhere, because I believe Premiership highlights here in New Zealand we can't watch through Ultimate Rugby. Same with all of the kind of South African games as well, I think, are another one there. But Jamie Blamire knows that was a massive opportunity. If he had hung on to that one, it could have been back to only a 3-point game between these two sides as well, and it would have been a very close one indeed. But we have also got there at this stage still 7-0 for Pau as well. Try Guinness Blondes as well, best ever or best ever beer wise, my favorite as well, says Gary in the chat as well. So maybe that will have to be an option for the future as well. I feel like a Kiwi Lads trying beer would be an interesting video. As for sure. But now it's going to be a big push there from Saracens. Have they got the advantage? And it is going to be just on their side, and it's going to be kicked in behind by Davis, looking for the 50-22. And actually, it was almost able to get it, but they are going to be going back now for the penalty. And the Saracens at the moment, they are starting to find a little bit more momentum. If they get one more try, they will be able to get themselves that bonus point. Has there ever been a death in a professional rugby match? Not that I know of. I don't believe, but there have been a few deaths kind of regarding even off the field, like straight after a game or anything. I don't know whether or not they've had one. I know that football has got quite a few of them that have kind of happened out there on the field. Even Eriksson, we saw very recently, he almost got into that situation in the game between Denmark and someone. I can't quite remember who it was, but Christian Eriksson had a very scary moment there. But I believe rugby, if I'm not wrong, we haven't actually seen too many kind of on the field type thing. But I believe probably off the field, they probably had something along those lines as well. Ultimate Rugby smacks you with the paywalls as well. Oh, you want to know the lineups? Denied, give me your credit cards as well, says Katie Dixon. That is why I use it through Safari on my phone, actually, because of the fact that they don't actually end up charging you for the online version, which kind of seems weird in that regard, because it is exactly the same as the app. And now it's going to be Davis once again going back across now. Owen Farrell looking like it's going to be nicely set. Oh, a loose ball there now going down there. It looked like it was an awkward fall there for one of the players for it was Newcastle. I think he took a bit of a head knock there, so they may have to have a wee look at this one. It still says Newcastle Falcons are sitting on 17, but they are actually sitting on 20 only. A short little bit of a difference between these two sides at the moment, but they are going to be taken on the post, so that's going to become the 10 points once again. Denmark versus Finland. Saracens collapse frightened me as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, it's something you don't really see too often, and it just, it was just a weird moment as well for everyone who was watching in attendance, because of the fact that, like I mentioned, you don't really expect it, and when you see it, it kind of doesn't look real, until your brain kind of processes it, if that makes sense as well. And can I go with you as well, says Gary Miller. And also we've got their favorite alcoholic drink, Hamish, says Sebastian. It's a good question. Favorite. I don't get a chance to drink too often, because of the fact that normally, if we've got a live stream or anything like that, if I try and drink, I tried one, I think it was actually for a filming session, and I had something beforehand, and my brain just didn't function because of the fact that I think it's because I really drink. It is as soon as I do have anything, I'm just pretty much smashed. So I think favorite though, I mean something I quite enjoy. I know it sounds kind of interesting, but I think it's a Bundaberg lemon and something. I quite enjoy a lemonade tasting one. Because of the fact that I quite like lemonade, but I don't really have lemonade too often. So I feel like I have it in that regard when I do get the chance. We're all moving to New Zealand. Got to buy we're buying Stewart Island. We're all going to be live, or going to live there, sorry. Come on, let's go as well, says Katie Dixon. Tell you what, we'll set up a Kiwi Lads studio, and everyone can do their own rugby little parts as well, and we can just set up a whole big area as well. The Kiwi Lads mansion is under construction as well, says Sebastian. How awesome would that be one day, to be able to have just a Kiwi Lads building? I don't know whether or not we would be able to make it happen, but of course, if we could, we definitely would be able to try and get something going. Even the Kiwi Lads little pad out the back, where we are going to be trying to set something up, would be quite nice. It's a penalty to Newcastle now, and at this stage, only 3 minutes left in this game. It is a good penalty to be won by Kyle Cooper at the moment. Anyway, it's got there. Do you know how to do the haka? Says go time AFL is a legend. Unfortunately not. I don't actually know it, which is a bit of a shame, because of the fact that I would absolutely love to be able to recite it. But now I am quickly going to be changing this one. Glasgow, they're actually going to be taking on the 3 here for Newcastle, so to bank themselves a bonus point at the least. And Glasgow are going to be sitting at 13 points to 9 at the moment over the Lions. So they are doing decently in that game, but anyone can win it in the later stages as well. That is for sure. We will quickly go back to it as well while we are looking at Glasgow. The ball in hand with 2.5 minutes left in that game as well. We have got there in the chat. In there, we'll ask Hamish and George to send a flotilla of KFC over the water so we won't starve as well. And hey, it could happen as well, says Katie Dixon. Maybe not the Stewart Island buying part, but maybe not the mansion, but maybe just the Kiwi Lads house of some sort would be pretty awesome to be able to get going at some stage. But yeah, who knows? Maybe in the future we will be able to do so. But yeah, it would be pretty awesome indeed. I'm wondering, because I know George likes Wanaka, but Wanaka's a very expensive area. And I don't know what the Wi-Fi is like there, but I'm sure it would be better than our small town. Although we're getting fibre to the gate, apparently, by the end of the year. So that could be an interesting one as well. I'm just looking through at the other scores. There we have got Leicester at the moment sitting 21 points to the 16. So I believe more than likely they have been able to score themselves another try in that game as well. We will go down there. Leicester actually, that's a weird score, because of the fact if they are sitting, they're sitting on 21. Okay, that makes more sense. And at the moment, Toulouse are actually losing their game by 7 points. That would be an absolutely huge upset if they were to lose that game up against Pal as well. And the Kiwi Lads house is going to be like a team 10, but better as well. And do you watch or do you prefer to watch a high-scoring, close game, bad defense, or a close-scoring or a close, low-scoring, good defense game as well? Says Go AFL is a legend. That's a good question. I feel like it depends on the competition around the world. Because I guess the kind of thing is top 14, you normally see those kind of lower scoring penalties going over, but they still end up getting quite a few points. Whereas for a Super Rugby or something like that, it kind of becomes slightly expected you're going to get about 4 tries, at least for each side. And the Bunnings NPC is very similar in that regard. You get those games that are all kind of bonus point games, not just for the team who do win it, but also the bonus point for the team that lose it as well. So as long as you get to see a few line breaks, I feel like even if it's a low scoring one, it is still entertaining. But I just love all kinds of rugby. Definitely kind of like the fun balance of Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere rugby. Like the top 14, I still enjoy watching probably just as much as these other competitions around the world as well, even though it's a different style. But you do get to see a little bit more of that strategy coming through as well. But now Saracens at this stage, they've got 20 seconds left. It was actually George Ford, 3 penalties in a row that he was able to get for Leicester to be able to get a little bit more of a lead going. But now driving for once again here for them, and it is getting very close as well. And still driving forward here for Wollonscroft, and this is going to be using up the rest of the time on the clock. So Saracens at this stage, do they decide to go for the attack and try and get themselves the bonus point? With it sitting at 80 minutes, it's a penalty to them as well. They can kick the 3. Oh, if Saracens kick the 3 here, they take away that bonus point of Newcastle. So do they do it strategically, or do they kick it for the corner and try and get themselves one more bonus point? It's a big decision here. Owen Farrell, they're trying to decide. They are kicking it for the corner here, Saracens. They have decided, and the crowd love it as well. They have said, we want one more try. We want the bonus point. Not only do we want to take it away from Newcastle, but we want one more as well. We have got their full-time game over as well, says Xavier Brown. I believe you must be a little bit ahead of myself because of the fact that we have still got one more play of this game as well. It is going to be kicked for the corner here by Owen Farrell. Now it's going to be going for the line-out drive, I should say, as well. Wollonscroft with this throw going straight into the hands of their number 6. It is set as well. So pretty much at this stage, Newcastle, you would think they would kick this ball out if they do receive this ball. But for now, it will be Saracens who have got this 1 hour long left in the Tigers game. I believe they will be sitting at only about 2 or so minutes left as well, similar to this game. But now still available now for Saracens. Only 1 meter shorter line, extremely close. Can they get themselves a bonus point? That's a big question. And at this stage, who is going to be the man to do it? They've got the advantage as well for Saracens, so they can really throw everything at this as a knock-on, but it's going to be the penalty for offside. What are they going to do? Owen Farrell, does he kick for the corner, or do they just take the tap and go? It looks like they are going to be going for that rolling maul once again. It was a look back across field, but I believe it will be another 2 minutes. Actually, it's hit full time, and that game is going to be going the way of Leicester. 21 points to them, and London Irish sitting on 16 at full time. So that is the end of that one. Leicester won. They did indeed. George Ford able to get 3 back-to-back penalties. In the end, that did get them just over the line. But 12 penalties in the second half going against Newcastle in this game as well. And also, while we are at it, we will look through and see that at this stage we are after 80 minutes in the game between Glasgow and the Lions. So all the Lions have to do, all Glasgow have to do is get themselves the scrum one, and then they will be winning that game, breaking off the back there for Saracens, still only a metre short of the line. And now, once again, they are going to go around the side. Billy Vunipola goes down. The crowd erupt. And they are thinking that he has got that one down, has he? Or has it been stolen? That's a big question. I think both Vunipola brothers might have been able to get themselves a try in this game as well. We have got their Leicester Tigers 4-for-4 mental as well. Says Sebastian, yeah, they're doing very well indeed. And they are sitting top of the table at the moment, but they have had an extra game. There's a bit of push and shove going on in the game between Glasgow and the Lions at the moment. Players not really splitting off. Tensions high for that one, and try kaboom as well, and they have awarded it. So the Saracens now, they receive that bonus point, and not only that, it's pretty much taking the bonus point off Newcastle because of the fact that they were right there, but from there, Billy Vunipola just breaking off round the side as well, puts the head down over the line. Easy try for the man as well. And we have got the yes, says Joe. And also we have got their deserved Saracens victory throughout, but Falcons deserve the defensive bonus point as well, says Sebastian. Also good day all. Hamish, brilliant as always. Looking forward to more rugby and of course the T20 cricket as well, says Gary. And also we should have easily beat Irish. That's just a poor away form as well, says Joe. And also we have got there, same to you, brother. And also thanks for the great stream, you legend, says Xavier Brown. No worries, mate. We are currently sitting 5 a.m. here in New Zealand almost, so it is definitely a late night game here. But yeah, I think this is going to be the last one that we do cover of today, and then we will be going into those games later on tonight, we will be doing a Be a Pro live stream on Rugby Challenge 4. That is going to be taking place at 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time. Then after that, we are going to have a Far Cry 6 live stream on the Kiwi Lads gaming channel, and then the game in the middle of the night, the Premiership, the Wasps, taking on Northampton as the final match of the weekend that we are going to be covering. Glasgow Warriors have beaten Lions 13 points to 9. They have indeed. Very close game in that regard as well. I'm just looking through, and Exeter have been able to score themselves another try. Sale also able to score themselves another late try in that game as well. In the 80th minute, it was actually Jiwa who was able to score that one. So because of that, 2 quick tries, Daniel Duprea and also Wah was able to score in the 80th, which does mean that, there's another try. Wait. What is happening here? Sale Sharks at the moment. Something is updating crazy at the moment. As you can see, as Sale Sharks, they were able to score in the 76th, the 80th, and also in the 82nd, 33-32. And I believe there will be a kick to come in that Sale Sharks game. They might be able to get themselves the win. 1% for my phone as well. Are we going to get to see the kick go over before the end of this one? That is the question, but we haven't got there. 7:30 p.m. You said, Hamish. Sorry, the dogs are barking. It is indeed 7:30 tomorrow night. It is going to be. Oh, he's missed the conversion. You got to feel for the Sale Sharks. They were able to fight back hard in the last moments, but they get themselves a losing bonus point up against Gloucester, but only 1 point difference in that game as well. But that is going to be the end of that one. Exeter Chiefs here with the final try of the match. It was scored by Joe Simmons this time, was able to score himself one. And they are only actually sitting 74 minutes through their game at the moment, or actually they might be a little bit closer to the end as well. Have Chiefs hammered Warriors as well. Exeter Chiefs at the moment, Worcester are losing 42-0. So this man, even though he does look at the moment like a zombie because my printer did not like him, that is supposed to be Stuart Hogg. But yeah, he will be a very happy man at the moment with the performance from the Exeter Chiefs there. And we have us got there in the chat. We have got the hearts from Sebastian as well, not the barking again as well. And in the chat, we currently got swimming at the moment here in New Zealand on the tally. What I will do quickly is I'm going to quickly have a look at the... where is the match? I believe there is a match taking place at the moment between, it is Toulouse and also... where are we? We got about 20 tabs open at the moment. I believe if I click on Spark Sport, there we go. And at this stage, Cardiff are very happy because of the fact that, Glasgow are very happy because of the fact that they were able to get that win. But Hull, at this stage, I believe they are actually sitting 7-0 up against the top 14 leaders at the moment to lose. So they will be very happy with that as well. Stuart Hogg looks like a scary Willy Wonka man in that pick as well, says Katie. Also, yep, that's a hammering then as well, says Joe. Yeah, they did very well. And I believe that match is not quite over, but full time in that game between Sale Sharks and also Gloucester is sitting 33 points to 22. So another very close game for the Sale Sharks. I'm actually going to look at their stats so far in terms of their recent fixtures, and you got to feel for them a little bit. They've been almost on the wrong side of the kind of result a couple times in a row now because of the fact they had a 31-31 draw with the London Irish. They were able to sneak a win over Bath, 20 points to 19, and then it was Exeter Chiefs 25 to the 15 of the Sale Sharks, and then Gloucester 33 points to 32. So they did just miss out. Midnight women's swimming cheeky. I just imagine it was actually the men who they were shown there, unfortunately, for us there. But we have also got there. Worcester finally scored as well. So have they been able to get themselves a last minute try? Who was it who did score the try? I will hopefully be able to see it in a very short moment as well. Once my app does load. No, it doesn't. It hasn't actually updated it yet as well. Just how Leicester managed to beat Saracens as well. Says Hafid, pretty much it came down to the fact that Saracens weren't able to score any tries in that game. They were sitting on 12 points, 4 penalties they kicked over, and then Leicester scored in the 82nd minute to be able to take the lead. It was the kick that was the kind of deciding vote in that situation, and they were able to do very well, and they were able to get themselves a win as well in that regard. But Leicester at the moment, they've had some close games, but they have been able to win them, and that is what is counting towards them on the table, because at the moment they are sitting top at the moment. Like, you look through their results here. First game, they had a decent one. They were able to beat Exeter Chiefs 34-19. Then it was 33-26 over Gloucester. Then the third game, 13-12 over Saracens, 21-16 over London Irish in their fourth one as well. And at this stage, it's going to be interesting. They seem like they're going to be in that top four, maybe in the later stages of the competition. They've been playing some hard opponents. It was a penalty try, no conversion as well, says Sebastian there for Worcester. So what time are they at the moment in their game? Do let me know. Or actually, it has got there Jay Clegg as well. Oh, was that actually how their try for the Leicester side was actually in their game up against Saracens? Do let me know. But Worcester, it was actually Clegg who was able to score that one, and it was a misconversion for them in the 79th minute. So I believe there is still about a minute left in that game as well. to see exactly who is going to be winning that one. But once that game is over, this will be the end of this live stream. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. I feel like it was a little bit all over the place, having about 9 live scoreboards at the bottom of the screen. I'm not too sure whether or not that is the way to go for the future ones. Perhaps if we do it, it would be just kind of an updated at halftime and updated at full-time kind of thing, rather than kind of every few moments as well. But we are going to be back tomorrow. Do you watch the Pro 14 Division 2? I wish that I could, but unfortunately they don't actually show those games here in New Zealand. We actually only get about 3 top 14 games a week, and also on Spark Sport we get the 4 South African games of the United Rugby Championship. But other than that, we don't really get too much of the second division. And also we have got there, thank you for the stream as well. And also, yes, Leicester versus Saracens, trust me, I've watched the highlights 5 times as well, says Sebastian. So I guess at the end of the day, a penalty try does cost you big time. And also can't wait for the Far Cry streams as well. I will finally not miss it as well, says Katie Dixon. So yeah, that is going to be 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be a Beer Pro live stream. Then straight after that, at about 9:15 or so, we're going to be jumping into the Far Cry 6. And then 3 a.m. that night is going to be our next live stream. And it's going to be a fun one, because it is going to be the Wasps taking on the undefeated Northampton so far this year. And also big love everyone as well, says Sebastian there. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, I've tied a knot in my headset. That's a bit unfortunate for how to end the night. But nonetheless, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The end score in that game between Exeter and Worcester, I believe, is going to be sitting at that 42-5, if I'm not wrong there. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.